Yeah, having a bipedal robot is not a good idea at all.
You're talking about like a mobile suit?
Yeah, like a mobile suit or just like any other like bipedal, like two-legged robot.
Right.
It's not like the ability to balance that thing would not be indicative of how that thing would fall over at the slightest thing. I would imagine like if you tried to fight in a cityscape with that weight, it would just fall through and just like into the sewer and stuff like that. I don't think it would be strong enough to actually hold the weight.
Have you seen? There's like some robotics company in the United States that's doing. They're like trying to make lifelike like cyborg robots. Like, have you seen like the robot dog? It like runs
Boston Dynamics.
Yeah. Those guys, and so those same guys are developing little like self-walking robot men, and they can like walk over gravel and stuff and walk over sand.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be one of those things where like maybe if you're gonna have like just no human pilot and just have it like remote controlled, pretty much. That or like have like the crab tank thing or something like that, because that way you can spread the weight out pretty easily and be easier to climb.
Here's my thing from like an engineering standpoint, right? Like as cool as like Gundams and Nightmare frames and all these things are,
Nightmare frames I can buy a little bit more because they have like wheels in the back, like Heelys. But they're not like
they do have Heelys. Oh my god, I never thought about it like that. But they have
Heelys. They do have Heelys.
I never thought of that. But like okay, so for space travel and for like for future combat in outer space, why would you build like a bipedal mobile suit instead of just like an armada of battleships?
Well, that's what well, at the beginning of the war, that's what the Earth Federation was banking on, because like, well, these things are so outnumbered and we have this huge armada, like there's no way that they could take us down. But then ended up fighting to a stalemate because like those mobile suits were just so good. Like mobile suits realistically were not meant to be designed to be used in Earth.
I have to wonder who was the first person, like who was the first, I'm talking about real life. Who was the first artist to look at like old school samurai armor and medieval knight armor and be like, let's do that, but as a big giant machine that I can get inside? Or do you think it was the kind of thing where somebody saw stuff like Jagar and was like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if somebody was inside that?
Well, it's like it's like back in the day, like with Tension 21 or Gigantor, if you're in the States, like the kid piloting it did not actually get in the fucking thing. He actually just controlled it like an RC car, like there was like a wristwatch or something like that.
It's almost like a drone pilot.
Yeah, it's exactly like a drone pilot before drone pilots were a thing.
I'm not sure how to end this segment.
Oh, I know how to. Welcome, dear viewers, to the weekly chat.
Welcome
with Nick and Pat. We're in the world of April. Corona still marches on.
Today is April 6th.
April 6th.
2021, of course.
Oh god, how the hell is it April already?
You got me, man. I don't remember any of February. Just like straight up. I'm like, what did I do?
January is a blur. I have no idea what the hell I did in January.
I'm thinking to myself, like, what did I do in February? Like,
what have I done for the past 4 months aside from just like going on Reddit and like just researching meme stuff?
What have I done with my life?
Our parents were right. We're wasting our lives at these computer screens.
All around me are
familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces. That song.
I learned how to play.
Convinced me to. Oh, go ahead.
I learned how to play the first half of it on piano.
Oh, really?
I need to go back and learn the second half.
That song convinced me to buy an Xbox 360 with Gears of War, because like one of the first trailers for Gears of War had that song, and I was like, oh, this shit is fucking cool. I want that.
Yeah. It also, we talked about Donnie Darko on one of our previous episodes, and
that's right.
God, I'm sorry. Hang on a second.
Is it
Sorry.
Marissa or Luke?
No, it's just my dad just got home, and so all the dogs are just like going ape crap right now.
And he's home.
Yeah, like they just can't help themselves. Like they're pretty good about barking most of the time, but we have this gate, we have this front gate, and it jangles like no matter how much we clean it with WD-40, no matter how much we fix it.
Is that the one between the garage and your house?
Yeah. So
like the one I go through.
It's the so there's a front gate and then there's like a side gate, and so most people actually come in through the side gate because it's less noisy. And no matter how often we clean the front gate, the hardware on it, like the little latching mechanism, it always jangles no matter how much we clean it, no matter how much it doesn't matter. That thing is going to jangle every time you open it. And if you do that in the middle of the day, that's fine because like the dogs can just bark. But if you're trying to come in at like late at night or whatever, and it's like defusing a bomb. You have to very carefully like open it. Otherwise, it's like you have to pick which wire to cut, the blue wire, the yellow wire, the green wire. Hey, you remember that? Okay, speaking of which, do you remember that movie, Cats versus Dogs or whatever?
Yeah.
You remember that? So you remember the part in the movie where the evil cat?
I know.
There's like the evil cats, and they set up a bomb, and one of the dog agents is like on the walkie-talkie, and is like, "Go defuse the bomb," and they get to the bomb. And the guy in the chair tells the one dog, "You have to cut the yellow wire," and it shows the dog. It's like, which one's the yellow wire? We're dogs. We're colorblind.
I remember I went to go see that with my dad at what we call the $3 theater.
Yeah.
Like way back when I was a kid, and there was like weird little like posters and stuff like that, like homemade like customer posters all throughout the fucking thing. It's like cats rule, no dogs rule, and stuff like that. It was fucking everywhere. So yeah, I remember that's like one of the only few things I remember from that fucking movie.
Anyway,
God, I miss that theater so much.
Anyway,
it's still around, I guess.
We should chew into some topics. So here's the deal. This week is going to be a much more casual episode because it's pretty light on news. Some stuff got announced that we will talk about. But after we kind of get through our one or two news stories, Nick and I will just be kind of taking turns discussing stuff we've been watching recently and stuff we recommend watching, and kind of like catching up, and like I'm referring to this as like the junk drawer episode, where sometimes we have little loose odds and ends that would not satisfy like a topic for a full episode. But we have like little it's like when you cut up a Thanksgiving turkey and you've got the little trimmings, the little odds and ends, and so when you put that stuff together, it can make a podcast sandwich.
Exactly. It's like a sea of appetizers. Look, Starvin' Marvin. These are appetizers.
Oh,
it's what you eat before you eat to make you more hungry.
We talked.
That's a terrible Cartman.
I'm gonna kick you in the nuts. That's
you
even
will.
that's even
he
worse.
will respect my authority.
That's even worse.
Stan, I can do a good Randy Marsh, but that's about Stan.
I haven't watched South Park in like 5 years, and
it's been like 10 years for me.
We've talked about the YouTuber Johnny Two Chillos on this podcast many different times, and my only exposure to South Park was he recently reviewed the pandemic South Park special.
Oh yeah, that came out.
Yeah. And it looks like more of the same, which is honestly, I actually think that newer South Park, at least when I was still watching, I thought it was like fine.
It was fine.
It wasn't,
but it's just like it's just more of the same. I think it's one of those things where like we get such. I think one of the mistakes and the draws of us watching South Park when we were younger, because like we were not supposed to watch South Park when we were younger. Now that we're old. Now that we're actually targeted towards the demographic, it's just like it's like waiting to drink. It's like you're drinking when you're underage. It's like, oh, it has sort of like this flavor, this mystique to it. And now that we could just watch it whenever, it's like we're now the target age. It's just like it's okay.
It's so I call this the popsicle stick inverse, and so it goes like this, right? Okay, so when you are a teenager, or like when you're a little kid or a teenager, popsicle stick humor is not funny. So stuff like, hey, so you would eat a popsicle, and on the stick, the joke would be like, what's cheese that's not yours? Nacho cheese. And as a kid and as a teenager, you're thinking to yourself, that's so dumb. That's the dumb. That's not funny to me. I have a sophisticated sense of humor. That's not funny. And then they will go on and watch stuff like Scary Movie or Family Guy or American Dad or God forbid that new thing on Netflix like GoPro or whatever, the basketball one, whatever the hell that one's called. Or there's one that's like there's a new thing on, it's like a adult animation. And like
there's like, I know what,
it
looks like shitty Rick and Morty.
Yeah, exactly. I guess the plot it's about like it's Oops. Yeah, well, there's that one, but there's like Paradise PD, which is I've heard is also bad, and then there's like Hoops. And
I've heard Legends,
but I haven't seen it. So there's stuff like that, right? Like you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking
about. The Big Mouths of the world, the Family Guys of the world, the American Dads of the world.
I'm gonna put my sister on blast here for a second.
Oh no!
I keep saying that she keeps. I'm gonna do it anyway because the show is just awful.
Okay.
I see her she's watched like all of Big Mouth like twice.
Oh no! What?
Yeah.
Oh no!
And she says like, I hate it, but I can't stop watching it. I'm just
okay. There are some shows where I understand that perspective, but Big Mouth, like
Big
I
Mouth's
can't.
just awful.
I
got
I
5
can't,
episodes into it, and I felt like I was gonna get. It's awful.
I can't imagine anyone like ironically watching Big Mouth. Okay. But sorry, going back to what I was saying earlier about the whole popsicle stick thing. So when you're a little kid, you don't laugh at like popsicle stick humor, and you laugh at like Family Guy cutaway gags and like Peter Griffin fighting a chicken for 30 minutes or whatever the hell. Then when you become an adult, you have this like your sensibilities kind of cross, where now that you're older, you look at stuff like Family Guy and like American Dad. And even some stuff like South Park, and you kind of say to yourself, like, that's not as funny as I remember it being. Part of you might be nostalgic for it, but, like, there's this part of you that knows that this isn't for you anymore. Meanwhile, you go and eat a popsicle as an adult, you find that same joke. What's cheese that's not yours? Nacho cheese. And you say, oh, that's a grand time. And so
No, I still look at it, I'm just like, okay. I don't actively hate it as much, but still, I'm just like, okay.
So little kid humor now appeals more to adults, and adult humor now appeals more to kids. That's how it all works.
Mm. Who wants chowder?
The streams are crossing.
Yeah. I think eventually we're just going to get to the point where it's just going to be dad jokes.
Oliver, what are you doing?
He's sitting on my lap. He clawed the hell out of my
I just saw from my K review. I just see Oliver like.
You can see his ear just a bit.
Well, no, because he poked his whole head up and was like, ah! He looked like a little gremlin. Go back to a little gremlin. Go watch the footage. You'll laugh after the fact. Anyway, so I've got good news and bad news this week. The good news is we had 2 really exciting announcements and 2 really cool trailers that hit the scene that we're going to talk about. Those being Space Jam 2, starring LeBron James, and Bugs Bunny, I guess. And then also JoJo Part 6 Stone Ocean anime adaptation.
Stoner Ocean.
So there was apparently like a JoJo Fest or something, and that's where this announcement was made. There was like a broadcasted like, oh, it's the yearly JoJo festival or something. I don't know.
Or as I call it, Florida Man, the anime.
Yeah, basically. So that's the good news. The bad news is, both of those things are owned by Warner Brothers, and so you might recall last week that when we did our trailer reaction to the Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad. I had to do this whole song and dance. Where I had to,
formerly known as the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, exactly. James Gunn's the Suicide. It's like Prince. It's just a symbol.
But anyway, you were talking about Warner Brothers.
Yeah. So I had to last week when we were doing our trailer reaction to the Suicide Squad. I had to kind of cut it up into little 30-second segments to
Hmm.
potentially get around the algorithm. But the moment that I uploaded it to YouTube, I got slapped down by an automated copyright claim by Warner Brothers, and so Warner Brothers. And by the way, this is not. If this was the first time this had happened, I would have just kind of shrugged my shoulders and been like, okay. But this is now official. This is like the third time that Warner Brothers specifically has filed copyright claims on videos that I have to manage. And
Yeah,
so,
so
and
it's not worth
so,
it's not worth the headache.
so, Warner Brothers, lesson learned. We hear you loud and clear. All right.
You don't want free advertising?
We will not react to your stuff live. We will not show anything of yours on our podcast. We will not give you potentially free publicity and free exposure
Which is funny because
for your
Nintendo
entire
is,
output of products.
which is hilarious because we can do shit with Nintendo, no problem.
Listen,
But for one,
even Disney, right? Like we didn't get copyright zinged for the Cruella trailer, and I literally streamed the entire Nintendo, the recent one. I streamed recently with you the entire Nintendo Direct, the whole freaking thing, and Nintendo was like, yeah, that's cool, because they realized, and because even Nintendo, stubborn SOBs as they are, understands that like this is just kind of how you do marketing in 2021. You just kind of you have to let the babies win, right? Even though
you gotta let the Wookiee win, kids.
Even though Nintendo, I know this for a fact. Even though the board of directors at Nintendo, they like hate like all of Twitch culture. They hate all of YouTube culture. Like they've gone out of their way to say this, that they hate it. But even they realize that like
Whatever, man.
Even they realize like, hey, publicity is publicity, and even though it's kind of morally,
like
it's in a legally gray, it's in a morally and legally gray area. We'll just let them do it because again, it's free exposure.
It really is. Well, it's a very heavy like Japanese like business sense and stuff like that. Like I listen to the Trash Taste podcast every once in a while, and they bitch about like how like everybody seems to think that Japan is like, oh, it's like 10 years in the future, but then when you actually get down to it and actually work with some Japanese businesses and stuff like that, they still use like fax machines. You have to get permission for everything. It's like there's so many hoops and layers you have to
a lot of them
are
a lot of them are kind of rooted in like the old ways.
Very much so in the old ways. So I mean that's their prerogative, but still
the one
only
that,
so much we can do.
The one that kills me, man, and listen, I don't want to have to bitch and complain about this company because I love these guys to death. I do. I no matter what I say in this following segment, I do love this company, and that is Atlus. And more specifically, the Japanese branch of Atlus, because the West, I actually think that the U.S. branch of Atlus gets a really bad rap. Because so do you remember the Persona incident, the Persona 5 incident?
No.
Okay, so you'll remember as soon as I start talking about it. I guarantee you. Okay. So when Persona 5 was set to launch it was going to have a global, worldwide launch. So it was going to come out in Europe, Japan, US at the same time. And
I think I remember.
Yeah. And so Atlus of Japan knew that people in America specifically were going to be streaming this on Twitch like crazy. And so they released this like basically like a contract. And what it all boils down to is it basically said, hey, Persona 5 is a story-based game. It's a single-player story-based game. And so we only want you to play to like a very specific point in the story. And then after that,
it was like the first like 6 hours or something.
It was like I think it was like the third chapter, which is like honestly that's like 20 hours, which is fine. But like they were specifically like, hey, don't stream past this point, and all these other so all the US streamers basically said like, why? Because here's the thing, right? So in Atlus's mind, their whole thought process was, oh, no one's gonna buy a single player story based game if they can just watch the whole, like, why pay for the milk?
They're gonna
Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free, kind of thing, right? But here's the thing: what they don't realize is that if people go on Twitch and they watch their favorite personalities playing this game, they themselves are gonna want to play this game. Like, that's how it works.
yeah,
That's how marketing.
they're gonna want they're gonna want to play the game regardless. Like there's a
There were
there's like a
probably
few
people
games
who,
that
like,
I've seen off.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
There's a few games that I've seen off of Twitch that I ended up buying and playing, like Rust.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I haven't played a lot of Rust, but like I saw Rust, and I was just like, looks like a lot of fucking fun.
And, like, by the way, so people just have different situations. Like, maybe they don't want to, like, there are some people, and I, by the way, I'm not one of these. I'm definitely not this type of person. But there are people like this who exist. They don't want to play like a 400, like, they don't want to play like a 200-hour story-based game like Persona 3 or Persona 5. They'd rather somebody else just, like, play the game, and, like, to them it's almost like watching an anime.
Yeah.
Like, they don't want to.
Isn't there a Persona 5 anime? There has to be, right?
There's a Persona 3. In fact, there's a whole history of this. There's two Persona 2. There's two Persona 3 movies. There's a Persona 3 TV series. There's a Persona 4 TV series with Johnny Young Bosch. It's you, the main character.
All right.
And by the just based off of clips I've seen from the Persona 4 anime, it's very good. It's very good. And then so recently there was also a Persona 5 anime. But, like, more specifically, talking about games, there are some people who just, like, don't want to play like 120-hour game. They either don't want to or don't have the time. They'd rather watch their favorite Twitch streamer play it, because, like, it also creates this sense of engagement where, if you're, like, sometimes I feel like people kind of live, like, vicariously through Twitch streamers. So it's almost like, not only am I, it's kind of like they're simulating this idea of sitting on the couch with a friend playing a video game, right? So so in their mind, it's like, oh, I'm sitting on the couch with my, like, I'm sitting on the couch with my buddy, my favorite streamer, and he's playing, you know, Persona 5 or whatever, right? Some people want that experience. They don't want to play the game by themselves. And, like, by the way, like, pretty much everybody who is tuning in to watch their favorite streamer play Persona 5 were the kind of Japanese weeaboo trash people who were going to go buy the game anyway. Like,
yeah,
like, there are no downsides to just letting people play the game. It's literally free exposure.
It's free. Yeah, it's free exposure, like, both ways. Like, it is literally a win-win situation. Like,
and here's the thing. So so Atlas's thing is like, oh, but, like, there are gonna be people who like get the game spoiled for them, and then they're not gonna buy the game. Okay, if you're the type, and by the way,
that's got to be like a really small fraction.
Here's the thing. If those people exist, and by the way, I would say that I'm kind of one of those people. Like, if I was gonna buy Persona 5 when it came out, I definitely would not. I would do everything in my power to not spoil myself. I would stay off of Twitter. I would especially not go on Twitch.
No.
But yeah, those people. If people are making the conscious decision to ignore that and go watch the game, they were people who were already A, not going to buy it anyway, or B, they were going to buy it and they don't care. Like, yeah, their logic. Well, like, their logic is.
Isn't there multiple endings for Persona 5?
Yeah. There's multiple endings for all the games.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, there's the lawful. There's the neutral, and then there's, like, chaos.
Here's the thing. Persona is a little. That's every SMT game. Persona
is different for Persona.
Persona is a little different. Basically, your decisions decide whether or not certain characters live or die. Like, the ending is pretty consistent no matter what you pick, but basically certain characters will live or die based on what you do, kind of thing.
So you want to try to save your favorite characters and then maybe try to sacrifice the characters you don't like. Oh no, Mineta, he got fed to a bunch of
oh no, Mineta, oh no. I was watching the newest episode of My Hero Academia the other day, and so the first half
so far behind.
So the first half of the episode is kind of showing, like, Endeavor talking with his family, and it's, like, really good stuff about the drama, about how he and Todoroki and his brother and his sister, they're trying to kind of reconcile with their father, and they're trying to, like, kind of put the pieces back together, but, like, Todoroki's
trying to be a family.
Todoroki's older brother is like, you abused us, screw you. And so there's really good like kind of bone cutting drama, and then they smash cut to freaking Mineta, and I was like,
Fucking great
oh,
boy.
I was like, damn it, I was having such a good time this episode, and you have to smash cut. You have to smash cut to that little smoothie. I hate him.
That little fucking smoothie is the sole thing dragging that show down.
Right.
If Mineta, here's the thing. If Mineta was just like in class 1B,
right,
just not giving,
hey,
like, can we just swap out somebody else?
I feel like we need to do like the NFL draft, but with My Hero Academia characters, where it's like, all right, listen, we'll give you Mineta, and we'll give you Sugar Rush guy, Mineta, and Arms dude, and in exchange, you give us Mind Control guy, Big Fist lady, Plant girl, and there was another one, but
Copycat.
I want the metal guy, whatever his name is.
The metal guy.
Yeah.
I think we could do a trade.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Well, it's like we could probably just make like an all-star team.
Yeah.
Just out of like both the class 1B and 1A.
But anyway, and so here's the thing. Going back to Atlas for a second here. And so unfortunately, what ended up happening with the whole Persona 5 thing is that like the Western branch of Atlas is subservient to the Japanese like oversight, right? Because it obviously.
I thought you were about to say overlords for a second. I for one welcome our Japanese overlords.
And so unfortunately, like Atlas West had no choice but to like to push this stuff through.
Did they have to bend the knee?
But Asuna is best waifu 222. Thank you for the follow. Asuna?
Oh, hello.
Asuna. Thank you.
Is it Asuna?
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome. Welcome to the weekly chat.
I feel
like I'm under contract to say it now, like that.
No, it's true.
Welcome,
you have to do your call to action. By the way, since we have you here, within the first hour of this video, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and create engagement for the algorithm.
Subscribe.
Hit the subscribe button. Why not? Listen, if you go to your other side of the screen, if you're watching this on your desktop, there's so many subs that you know that channel that you subscribed to like 2-3 years ago because they had like that one video that you liked, but then you realized that like they never uploaded again, or
they haven't uploaded it.
Like clean out your sub box. That guy's never gonna upload again. We upload new episodes every single Friday. And so if you want new content every single Friday consistently so that the algorithm pays attention, then you can check us out at youtube.com/theweeklychat with Nick and Pat.
Hit the bell.
But no, anyway,
Are they saying something in the chat?
No, sorry, I'm being silly with my call of action, my call to action. That's the thing, right? Is you have to do a call to action because basically the algorithm demands it. But you can find a way to make it
like how Atlas West has to bend the knee.
Yeah, exactly. They have to bend the knee.
We have to bend to our YouTube overlords.
If you can find a fun, creative way to make it happen, I think
I for one welcome our YouTube overlords.
That's right. But anyway, so yeah, Atlas West basically had to bend the knee, as it were.
Bend the knee.
I get so much enjoyment out of I get so much enjoyment out of the fact that you hate Game of Thrones. Like now, Game of Thrones has become it transformed from one of the greatest dramas of all time to one of the best comedies ever made.
Oh no! No, it turned into a prank show because you feel like you just got pranked.
It's the equivalent.
It's a fucking almost a 10-year-long prank show.
Oh my god! Anyway, but
you don't know. You don't even know.
No,
you don't
I
even
know.
Understand.
I got to season 5 and said I'm good. But anyway, so Atlas. So unfortunately, people on social media thought that like Atlas West was the person was the body that put these rules into place, and so like Atlas West, their social media just got like bombarded by angry trolls who like didn't know the situation. And so I do genuinely, for anyone who had to manage the social media on Atlas, like Atlas US accounts, I do genuinely feel for you because you don't deserve like half the crap you get.
No.
But anyway,
what are you gonna do? That's corporate culture, to say the least. It's just passing the buck, the corporation.
But yeah,
like, if anybody has ever worked in a corporate setting and stuff like that, it's almost nobody tries to like accept responsibility. It's all about, well, it wasn't our fault for our department. It was so and so's department, and so on and so on. And you basically just try to run the trail dry.
We're gonna come back to this when we're gonna be discussing we're gonna be discussing some movies that we saw later in the podcast, and this topic's gonna come up again.
Oh God.
But no, anyway, the reason that I told that story is, long story short, today we want to talk about the new Space Jam trailer and the new Stone Ocean reveal trailer. But because YouTube is so wonderful and does not punish companies with repeat non-valid copyright claims, we're not going to show it on stream.
No, we can't.
I'm not going to do it.
Nope.
But we will talk about it. So let's
try. Which is funny because we can do it on Twitch pretty easily. Like, we don't get flagged for that.
Oh, Twitch doesn't care. Straight up, they don't care.
It's like there's this one YouTube channel, or there's this one Twitch streamer that I kind of watch. His name's Taylor Merca, and literally all he does is stream like My 600 Pound Life, Hoarders, like all the Gordon Ramsay shows and stuff like that. But granted, they're great streams, but like Twitch just doesn't give a shit.
Like,
but if you want to put that on YouTube, YouTube would have just like taken that down. Like,
there's a YouTuber by the name, and you know this guy. There's a YouTuber by the name of Greg Benson who has a channel called Mediocre Films. But here's so he has a Twitch show that he
does. Twitch show.
Yeah, he has a Twitch show where he and friends will they'll basically do Mystery Science Theater with movies, right? And so the other day they were watching the Japanese version of House, or like Hausu, if you will. And I was actually in the comment section watching him react to the movie, and I said, like, because for some reason I thought that the only thing that you could stream on Twitch was like public domain stuff, and so I even posted in the chat comments. I said, "Wow, I didn't know that House was like public domain. That's so awesome." And he specifically said, like, it's not public domain, but I could stream it under fair use, and I'm like, I don't know about that.
About that there, Benson.
But no, but he's cool. So
no,
I hope he doesn't get in trouble or anything.
We've been watching Greg Benson and all those cats for like over a decade.
But no, so it's weird because like only corporations that give a crap will actually enforce copyright claim is what I find a lot of the time when it comes to Twitch and YouTube. Like there's like honestly the things that get people dinged
YouTube
are more
so.
The things that
they've set that algorithm to where it's so predatory against like if you just have like a second of something that the system doesn't like, it will just take it out.
Here's the thing that I don't like about YouTube's current copyright system, and I swear to God we'll talk about Space Jam and Stone Ocean after this, I promise. The thing that I do not like about the copyright system on YouTube as it stands is that like so much of it is automated. So what YouTube allows companies to do is it would take literal years for a company to...
it would take decades.
It would take literal years for a company to check to manually check with manpower every single copyright claim on YouTube. And so what YouTube does is like, we'll remove the human element. We will create the algorithm. And so how this all works is that they set up this program where YouTube will basically, when you upload your video, YouTube has like a scanner that will like go through your entire video, and if it sees material that's like copyrighted, it will just automatically, regardless of context, it will just be like, oh, there's Warner Brothers content, boom, copyright flag. But here's the thing, so the person who uploads an entire pirated copy of Justice League and the person who uses a clip of Justice League for either a trailer reaction or like a video essay, they are treated the same. So YouTube is like very weird where like they'll allow certain people who make the money, they'll allow certain people to kind of...
People that have like thousands and thousands of subscribers.
YouTube will allow certain accounts. They'll look the other way for accounts.
Laser.
Yeah. They'll allow certain accounts to, as long as the material is transformative enough, they'll be like, oh yeah, you created transformative content. Of course you're within copyright law. But if you're a small channel,
Oh, you're
No,
screwed as
no, no, no,
a
no, no,
small
no, no, no,
channel.
no, 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 no. If you're a small channel like us, like your
We're
boys,
about as small as they. We're about as small as they come.
that's right. They don't get
The channel.
they don't they
The
don't
channel.
get no. That's so dumb. I'm like not 100% today, so I'm sorry if I act like an idiot. But no,
Nah, it's all right. I'll be the idiot twice over for the both of us. How
Idiot.
about that?
God.
Idiot.
No,
Oh, Pat, give me some of your subscribes.
Tina,
No.
eat the food. Eat the food. I bought
man.
Napoleon. I bought a time machine. Oh, that movie feels so long ago.
I hated that movie the first time I saw it.
That movie feels so long ago.
But then for some reason, I have no idea why. Like I watched it again. I actually watched it on my PSP. I had the UMD for it.
Oh, nice, nice.
And I watched it, and I was just dying the second time around. I was just like, why did I think?
It has its moments. I think it's definitely a product of its time.
It is very much.
So many people had vote for Pedro shirts in middle school.
Oh yeah, that
so
was
many
the
people,
thing.
man. Vote
they
for Pedro.
still sell those.
And like tater tots became like, I swear to God, tater tots became popular again because of Napoleon Dynamite. Napoleon, give me some of your tots.
No, I haven't eaten today.
No, but anyway,
food.
Yeah. So YouTube, it's like, here's the, and I understand from like a legal standpoint that YouTube kind of has to cover its butt when it comes to companies not wanting to sue them. I get that. But here's the thing,
please don't sue us.
Their answer is to basically put a Band-Aid on a brain tumor and not actually here's what infuriates me about YouTube is that like they
Band-Aid on a brain tumor. That's gonna be my new toxic punk band.
They claim like their social media presence and like the way that they present themselves is like we care about our content creators, both big and sorry, I almost lost my phone. We care about our content creators, big and small. We're YouTube. We want you to express yourself. But no, if they don't mean any of that.
No, they don't.
YouTube is very, very specifically, they're sending the message loud and clear.
The almighty dollar.
They want premium content, and then everybody else can piss off, as it were.
Yeah, it wants to be like Hulu or something else, but it's one of those things where no, who the fuck gave about anything about YouTube Red?
I was gonna say, hey, do you want to hear a joke? YouTube Red.
I only watched one thing on YouTube Red,
and then that got snapped
and then that
up.
got ported over to Netflix, so that's even less.
By the way,
watching the weird game theory show.
Yeah,
or that whatever the hell that Logan Paul or whatever
so,
those fucking.
Dude, YouTube is so out of touch when it comes to what and by the way, we saw this with YouTube Rewind 2018, where YouTube Rewind 2018 was the most downvoted video of all time.
Was that the one with Will Smith?
Yeah. That's where the that's hot. That's where that meme came from. If you've ever seen the meme where Will Smith is by the planetarium or whatever that is.
You mean the planetarium?
The planetarium. But no,
a lot of South Park references this episode. It's strange.
It is me, Man Bear Pig.
Man Bear Pig. That's why I always type in every single show on YouTube. We fight for the algorithm, but I sometimes call it the Al Gore rhythm.
The Al Gore rhythm with.
We gotta fight against the algorithm, you guys.
I'm sipping cereal about Man Bear Pig. That's the thing. That's
I'm wearing a bear.
You are Man Bear Pig.
Oh. Hey, it's me, Man Bear Pig. Are you there, God? It's me, Man Bear Pig.
I've actually I read that novel, the Are You There, God? It's Me. I read that novel.
It's Me, Margaret.
Yeah, I read.
Did you read it in college or something?
I did. Yeah. For a children's lit class, I read that book.
Did you get in touch with your feminine side?
No, honestly, that book, it's less to do with the fact that she's a girl is kind of not very important to the story. I mean it is, but that's not the main point of the story. But yeah, anyway, I also read The Secret Garden, which is another book that people kind of misconstrue with it's like a girl book, and it's no, not really. In fact, if you read The Secret Garden, it's actually It's actually a book about a sad, depressed guy who basically gets told by a bunch of kids, "Hey, stop being so depressed, idiot."
Go, come on, go outside, pussy.
Yeah, basically, that's kind of that's where it's at almost.
Where's
Anyway,
the child whimsy, pussy?
Anyway, yeah, bottom line, YouTube algorithm sucks and we're not going to show the footage, but we will talk about Space Jam 2, and we will talk about Stone Ocean. So let's talk about Space Jam 2. We saw the trailer.
Ready?
By the way,
we just saw the trailer, what, like 30 minutes ago?
If you want to play along at home, pause this video, open up a separate tab, watch the Space Jam. It's called like Space Jam: The New Age or something. It's like if you type in Space Jam 2, you have the New
Legacy, Space Jam Reloaded,
Go ahead.
Space Jam Revolution.
Go ahead, pause this video.
Go ahead, wait.
Pause this video. We'll give you 3 seconds to go watch the trailer, and then you can come on back. All right.
All right.
Wow, that was hilarious. Wasn't Yosemite Sam funny? That was great.
Where was Pepe Le Pew? These goddamn PC cancel culture.
I know. How dare they not have the weird, clingy rapist? And by the way, it's not even the weird, clingy racist, but like, it's a skunk who's in love with a cat. So it's like cross species. Yeah. He's like a cross species like rapist.
Some interspecies erotica. Oh wait, no, that's.
Yeah.
The weird date rape skunk.
Everything about Pepe Le Pew is just awful, I'm fine. I'm fine if they don't want Pepe Le Pew in the movie. I'm fine with that actually.
I'm fine.
The one that I'm a little bit more upset about is the Speedy Gonzalez. Here's the thing. So like, okay, here's the thing about Speedy Gonzalez as a character, right? The only people, and by the way, if you don't know who Speedy Gonzalez is, he's one of the original Looney Tunes, and he's like this little like mouse conquistador kind of guy, and he's fast, as his name implies. The only people I ever hear talk about Speedy Gonzalez being racist are like typically white dudes. But here's the thing: every single person who I've known in my life who is like either like South American, Latino, South American, Latin, like whatever, everybody,
they love him.
Everybody loves Speedy Gonzalez. Like they like, if like one of my friend Mac is a guy, for example, who like loves cartoons, and like especially the Looney Tunes. Nobody loves the Looney Tunes more than my friend Mac does. And I actually talked to him about this. It's like, yeah, you know, they're not gonna have Speedy Gonzalez, and they're not gonna have Pepe Le Pew in the new Space Jam. And he kind of agrees with me. He's like, yeah, I'm fine with Pepe Le Pew, but like, how dare they take away Speedy Gonzalez? So, and I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, dude, everyone in Mexico, and he actually lives.
They love him.
He actually lives in Mexico, and he's like, man, what are you kidding me? Everybody loves Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah, because like, it's one of those things where like, on the surface he might look like a stereotypical thing, but no, he's not. He's kind of like the Mexican Bugs Bunny, where like he kind of comes out on top like every single time he's on screen.
Yeah, like he's not the butt of a joke, and like.
No, he's not a brother joke. He's the star of every single cartoon he's on. He's not like.
You could make an argument whether or not his accent is like racist or not, but like, I think
because it's probably some white guys.
At that point, you're kind of splitting hairs. But like, I also it's complicated. Like, on the one hand, I understand that like you don't want.
By the way, if you think that's racist, look up it's like World War II Looney Tunes. Like, I mean, cartoons. Like,
I think we talked about this at some point, but
I think we did, yeah.
But like, listen, so Disney and Warner Brothers, they all did World War II propaganda, and like they released some like really, and like Warner Brothers especially has had a history of like awful cartoons. But credit to them, they actually a couple years ago, they basically compiled all of their like really controversial cartoons on like a platinum DVD. And what they did was they basically said at the beginning of the DVD, there is like a little 2-minute kind of mini documentary talking about how like the cultural context of the stuff on the DVD. And it's like, hey, these were made during an era of like, you know, just people in charge were doing bad stuff, and like these do not reflect the views of Warner Brothers today, but like if you want to see them for cultural context, here they are, kind of thing.
Yeah, like don't get rid of it.
And I actually think that's how you're like. people talk about how like Gone with the Wind is racist and it should be removed from film archives. That's like I don't think that should be the case. I don't like the idea.
I've never seen Gone with the Wind, so I don't know how it
Honestly,
could be
like,
construed as racist.
there's some like questionable depictions of people of color in that
One
movie.
thing that
Honestly, I
one
actually
piece of-
think I actually think Breakfast at Tiffany's is way worse when it comes to racism. By the way, like if you but anyway,
one that drives me fucking crazy that people are like complaining about. It's like when they said, "Oh, we're gonna get rid of To Kill a Mockingbird out of
yeah.
the thing because it was making people too uncomfortable." I was like, that is the point of
like,
the book.
So I remember in high school, I had to read To Kill a Mockingbird as part of the curriculum. And one of the parents of one of my classmates actually wrote into the principal and said, so if you've never read To Kill a Mockingbird, the book is about like the deep South in the era of like segregation. Like it's a Mark Twain is not like here's the
Before Jim Crow, or was it before or during Jim Crow?
This was like this was way before.
Okay.
Yeah. But
it takes place in the 1800s, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah. You're right. I think it's like 1830 or 60. I have to look it up, but like, yeah, it's
was
like
it right after the Civil War, or
I want to say it was. Dude, it's been so long since I've read To Kill a Mockingbird.
It's been a long.
But I think it's. I think it's.
I've only ever seen the movie. I've never read the book.
But no,
with Gregory.
But so in the book, like Mark Twain is not subtle. Like he writes. So the thing about Mark Twain is he wrote characters who talked like people that he knew growing up and like people in real life. Like that's how, like he wrote people as he heard them growing up, and so obviously people in the 1800s in America use the N-word a lot. Like a lot. And so so the N-word is in To Kill a Mockingbird like several times. And I remember having classmates who were really uncomfortable. So the teacher would be like, "All right, Mary, read the next 2 pages." And so there would be a dialogue scene between 2 characters, and there'd be a white guy who'd be like, "You blank and blank and blank and blank." And it
I would certainly hope that they censor themselves when reading aloud.
No. But like, here's the thing: I actually don't think that you should censor yourself when you do that kind of thing, because like it should make you uncomfortable, in my opinion, because that's our history. Like, I hate to. So listen, you can say a lot of things about Mark Twain. He was not subtle. Like,
no, he was not.
Huckleberry, sorry. Oh, sorry. No, sorry. God, I'm so dumb. It's not Mark Twain. It's Harper Lee. I'm sorry. I'm so dumb. My brain is like fried today. I'm sorry. I'm confusing like Huckleberry Finn and Mark Twain.
With oh my God. Blank Jim.
Yeah, exactly. I'm such a moron. Sorry. I'm like God. Mark Twain wrote To Kill a Mockingbird. Holy crap.
He also wrote Star Wars too, apparently.
He wrote Star Wars. He wrote
Lord of the Rings.
Rugrats. There you go.
Rugrats. Mark Twain.
I don't know what the
Rugrats.
hell is. Dude, I don't know what. I slept like crap last night. Sorry, Harper Lee. Harper Lee wrote To Kill a Mockingbird, and Harper Lee is not subtle. God, that's gonna sound so dumb. I'm gonna have to go listen to that after the fact to be like, wow, you're an idiot.
Oh man.
But yeah, it should make you uncomfortable because like it's an uncomfortable book, and like what do you want to it's a reflection of how we used to act as a country. It's like, so what do you want? So yeah, I don't think it should be censored. Anyway, can we talk about Space Jam, please?
Yes, we can.
Please. It's almost been an hour into the show. We haven't even gotten to our topics.
Oh no, I love when the show goes off the rails like this. It feeds me.
Someone's gonna use that clip of me out of context and just be like, "Yes, I know, I made a mistake." Oh God.
We're gonna have the Curb Your Enthusiasm song over it. Bump, 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 da da da. You know what? I will make that. I will make that clip for us.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm not gonna post it anywhere. I'll just save it for
God.
prosperity.
I'm like, listen, I don't even know how I passed college. Okay, don't worry about it. Anyway, Space Jam.
Come on and slam. We're going to the jam.
Yeah, I don't know,
man. I don't know about this one. I'm getting some Ready Player One vibes from it.
Yeah, they're kind of like I like the idea that like, oh,
It
this
almost looks like they reused a lot of assets from Ready Player One in this.
It's like yeah, they're doing this whole like kind of trapped in a video game type thing, and like I think that's a good setup. But yeah, like what they're doing this whole thing where they're trying to like get all of the Warner Brothers properties together, and they're like, oh look, there's a Game of Thrones reference, and oh look at that, there's Iron Giant.
They also had like
there's all this stuff.
like a Clockwork Orange in the background too. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see that. No.
They had the Droogs from A Clockwork Orange because when I think of kids movies, I want to think about A Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for those who don't know, like Clockwork Orange is like one of the most.
Will little kids even recognize that it's a Clockwork Orange?
For some reason, like cartoon creators or something like that, they will put A Clockwork Orange references. Like there was some in Regular Show. We saw last night, like one of the unicorns.
I can actually get behind that a little bit because Regular Show is very specifically made for like the kind of people who would watch Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
Like, even though Regular Show is a kid show, like I swear to God, it's almost like I feel like
it seems like a Adult Swim show that is not on Adult Swim.
Yeah, like it seems like a PG-13 Adult Swim show that like is almost like
it is like it is like PG-13 like Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
The way that the characters talk and interact is very much like
just how every episode plays out.
I think little kids will enjoy it, but I don't think they'll get as much out of it as like young adults or like people in college.
I'm so glad that I waited to be an adult to actually watch Regular Show.
Yeah, and I think little kids can watch it and they will enjoy it, but I don't know.
They can definitely watch.
I don't think they'll get the maximum
in there that I'm just like. But there's a few
definitely
scenes in there where I'm just like,
Like, so there's a whole episode about Mordecai and Rigby like trying to pick up girls in a car, and like, what little kid is gonna I don't know what like little kid is gonna relate to that at all. I don't know. Like, and the whole episode is about how ridiculous Mordecai and Rigby look while trying to pick up girls in a car. And I don't know that like
off to the moon.
And I don't know how little kids are supposed to look at this and be like, oh, that's relatable. But then again,
I mean, one could say the same thing about like SpongeBob, and he's trying to get his license, because what little kid is like dreaming about getting his license? I think that
at the very least, like SpongeBob is coded to have childlike qualities, despite the fact that he is like an adult technically. Like both Patrick and SpongeBob. 20. Yeah, I think so. But like,
they seem like they're in their early 20s.
But both Patrick and SpongeBob are coded to be more relatable to little like. Squidward is the straight man, and SpongeBob and Patrick have like they have childlike qualities. They're like, not quite
Squidward's
children, but
in like his mid-30s, late 30s or something like that. Mr. Krabs is like late 50s. Sandy's roughly around the same age as them.
Howdy, y'all. Here's my barbecues and my 10-gallon hat. That's a great episode.
Oh, that is a great episode.
God. Harper. God. I'm still mad at myself. It's Harper. Oh my God. Mark Twain. God damn. Anyway, I'm so dumb. Don't even worry.
I think he was just really focused on the Space Jam. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, we'll watch it when it comes out on HBO Max. I don't know if I want to see this in the theater, but we'll see. I'm just getting some Ready Player One vibes from it. And it's kind of making me feel.
I hope that they keep to the spirit of the original a little bit. Like, the movie is a joke. Like, Space Jam, the reason that Space Jam is funny is because everyone realizes that like it's a dumb premise for a dumb movie. So I hope that they kind of keep that consistency. And I'm worried about.
This is going to be like this is like targeted towards the demographics of the kids that just play like Fortnite and stuff like that. Like,
I am getting. You know what? You're right. I'm getting that kind of vibe as well.
Because like for the '90s, like that was clearly aimed towards like Saturday morning cartoons for the '90s Space Jam. But for this one, it just seems like I feel like it's gonna go into like Emoji Movie. And, like it's gonna. Yeah, I think it's gonna go. Yeah. I'm putting the sword down right now. I feel like it's going to go into like Emoji Movie territory with this thing.
Oh no, please.
Yeah.
Please,
I'm calling it right now. Yeah. Oh yes.
Oh
I'm
no,
going there.
no, no, no! Please,
Oh
please,
yes,
Space
yes,
Jam
yes.
2. The only thing I am kind of miffed about, no, I hope Danny DeVito's character from the first movie makes some kind of cameo or like something. I want
Was
Danny.
it? I don't think Danny DeVito.
He,
Yeah, he
yeah,
was.
he's the boss of the Monstars.
He was the boss of the Monstars.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
I'm running a legit organization here. Yeah.
Mm,
He,
I'm gonna go hang out with the gang.
yeah, exactly. It was that kind of thing. But yeah,
Okay,
I hope
that
that
makes
I hope that Michael Jordan makes a cameo. Like if Michael Jordan
I
doesn't
want
make a cameo,
I want Wayne Knight and Michael Jordan to make a cameo. If Bill Murray shows
I
up,
hope
I'm gonna be
not.
so happy.
So like every time I have gone to watch Space Jam again, like so I would watch it as a kid and then I've watched it I've watched it an embarrassing amount of times as an adult. Bill Murray Bill Murray is like hands down the worst part of Space Jam.
How dare you?
I'm sorry. He like literally he shows up out of nowhere and does nothing. And like literally
That's Bill Murray though.
No, I know, but like that was like and like that's the joke because like you get it. He's in the movie and like Bill Murray is cameoing in this movie because reasons and like that's the joke, but like it's I don't know. It's questionable.
Well, that whole movie is questionable. This whole movie's like a crack binge. But yeah, I just
Yeah, like the thing that I
feel
don't like
this is going to be. I feel like we're going to be, but I feel like for a kid that's going to be great for
Yeah.
Space Jam 2. But like we're going to be like the boomers. There's like this shit's so dumb.
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
Like we are going to be how our parents were.
Oh yeah.
When we were.
Oh,
just
by the way,
is...
can I tell you an embarrassing? You want to hear an adorably embarrassing childhood story about me involving Space Jam?
Sure.
Okay. So when Space
Were
Jam
you jerking it to Lola?
No, I was 6. You dummy! Come on. I was 6 or some crap. I was like 7 or 6. Come on.
Come on, you know I'm kidding.
Anyway. So my this is
I'm not sorry, by the way.
This is another story about my dad. So my dad was the type of person, even when I was a little kid, he did not like going to the movies, like at all. Especially when it came to like the stupid crap my sister and I were into. But you know, my dad was trying to kind of like, okay, you know, I'll compromise. I'll take the kids to a movie. I'll take the little
crotch goblins.
I'll take Pat to a movie. And but here's the let me add another layer to this layer cake. Okay, so growing up, my dad was very much like a sporty kid. He played baseball for years. Even after he even after he went to college and stuff, he played basketball and stuff. Like not at like a college level, but like kind of like street basketball. Like he was playing basketball and baseball like every day for his entire life, kind of thing. And so when he had 2 kids, my older sister and me, he wouldn't say it out loud, but he very much wanted us to be sport kids. Like he was seething for it.
No, my mom was the exact same way. My mom wanted me to be a football player so goddamn bad.
My dad, he was seething for it. He's like, you and your sister are gonna be sports kids. You're gonna go into sports and you're gonna be sporty kids. And I
would have played more sports if they let me play the sports that I wanted to play.
Here's the thing. Both my sister and I, we were like, nah, man. My sister and I were both introverted people who did not like sports. We were just not sports.
Nerd.
We were nerds. No, straight up. No, you're right. We were nerds.
No, so was I.
And so that's it, right? We were nerds. Even as little kids, my dad learned the hard way that both my sister and I were just never there. I feel like my sister and I broke my dad's heart when she was about 8 and I was about 6. That was when my dad kind of came to the realization that like we were never going to be sports kids. And so and that actually infuriated him because all of his friends, like they had kids.
They all had sports kids.
Yeah, like all of my dad's friends had kids around the same age as my sister and I, and they were like playing high school basketball and they were like on the varsity team and like, oh, one of them played like baseball and like, so every time my dad would get together with his friends, his friends would be like, "Oh yeah, I won't say their names. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna make up names. Oh yeah, Todd is like, he's killing it on the varsity team, and oh yeah, Jacob is like, he's like crushing it with the karate team." And my dad is like, "Yeah, my kids sure like to read books," the kind of thing. So he was salty about it, and I think he's still salty about it to this day. But anyway, when Space Jam came out,
if God forbid you have kids, do you think if you ever have kids, do you think they're going to be sports kids? It's going to like skip a generation?
Maybe. If they like, here's the thing: if I ever have kids, by the way, Jesus Christ, that's a stretch. But anyway, if hypothetically, if I had kids, what I would do is I feel like my parents and like I feel like all the parents of the 90s did this thing where they like tried to kind of push their kid in like the direction that they wanted to go. Like, oh, hey, like I love sports as a kid, so little Johnny has to love sports. And by the way, you can do that for pop culture stuff too, right? Like, oh, I love Star Wars as a kid, so like surely little Susie will love Star Wars as well. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to. If I have a kid,
you want them to forge their own destiny.
Yeah, I'll be like, hey, like I'll nudge them in like. If they ask me like, oh, hey, like, what should I do? I'll kind of nudge them in a direction.
I would just ask my kids straight up is like, what do you want to do?
Yes.
I'll give them a choice.
Right.
I'll give them like, you can't sit around the house all day, but you have to do something. But do you want to go to art class? Do you want to go to
piano?
I don't know, you want to do sports, piano, music? Like, what do you want to do? I'll give them a choice. They can't stay at the house all day, but I'm going to give you a choice to like, what do you want to do? You want to be artsy? You want to be a sports kid? What do you want?
Right. But like I would kind of do this. I would kind of do the same thing. But anyway, so when Space Jam came out,
we give them the illusion of choice. Yeah, you secretly want them to do. No, that's terrible.
No, I know. You laugh, but some parents are like that. Some parents are like, you're going to like the things that I liked. Some people are weird, dude. Some people are weird.
I want my little kid to be his own person.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where like some parents like
they try to
shape you. Yeah, they try to shape you in a certain way. They try to turn you into a little mini me.
Yeah, and
it's just like it just makes you resent the shit that your parents like. Like I like a lot of the stuff that my parents like, but that wasn't the case back in the day. Like back in the day, I was like trying to go like very the opposite way of my parents and stuff like that. But yeah,
but no,
it's all
so when Space Jam came out, my dad, who was not broken yet, he thought that my sister and I could still be sports kids.
He had a fighting chance.
My dad was like, "Aha! I know that Patrick loves cartoons, and this is a cartoon movie with live action segments of people playing basketball. I can use this movie to tie the bridge. I could use this as a movie to tie the bridge between my interests and his interests, and then
at least he tried that way. At least he tried to like bridge the gap.
Hang on, I'm not done with this story yet.
Oh no,
the story is not done yet. And so my dad's thinking like, hey, like in his mind, he's thinking to himself like, hey, this is a movie that has basketball, which I love, and it's got cartoons that Patrick likes. I'll take him to this movie, and then maybe we can kind of bridge the gap, and then maybe I can convince him to try basketball. Maybe this will
convince him to play basketball.
So if you've never seen Space Jam before, there's like a 2-minute opening segment that's like photos and like stuff. It's like a montage of Michael Jordan, but then after that, there's like a 10-minute setup where the Looney Tunes meet the Monstars and the plot of the movie is established. So according to the way that my dad tells this story is that you were sitting there in the theater next to me, Patrick, and as soon as the cartoon segment with Bugs Bunny and the Monstars ended and you saw live action footage of Michael Jordan, you got up and tried to leave the theater. I grabbed your jacket and said, "Where are you going?" And you turned to me and said, "I thought the movie was over." I was.
What is this? The 1920s?
I was
like, the cartoons before the fucking movie, and
I was 6. I was 6, and so my dad was like,
"You were 6.
What are you talking about? Like, there's still a whole.
Yeah, there's still a whole movie left.
And
There's
I'm like,
more?
but wait, the cartoon ended though, and like my I was 6. Oh, good lord.
Oh, that is just
that's one of my
adorable.
favorite. That's one of my favorite stories of all time.
The cartoons are over now.
My dad was like seething. He's just like,
stupid kid.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope for the best for
Honestly,
Space Jam 2.
My dad would just fall asleep. I remember when he took us to go see the Pokemon movie 2000.
Yeah.
And he would just be passed out.
You're like, Dad, is Lugia gonna be okay?
No, I didn't even talk like that. Well, it's like that's the thing though. My dad liked going to see like nerdy movies like that. Like he was the one who took me to go see Empire Strikes Back as a kid, and I'll never forget that movie night forever. Oh man.
But anyway, shall we move on and talk about Stone Ocean? I hope I hope that Space Jam turns out okay.
The anime.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope it comes out okay too, but it's gonna be one of those things where like I'm just gonna have like the biggest grain of salt imaginable.
One last thing about the new Space Jam trailer, and I'm sorry about my yapping dogs. One last thing about it is that I'm really sick of Warner Brothers using the Iron Giant.
I know.
As like
leave him be.
Well, like especially because if you've actually seen the movie. The Iron Giant
is not a gun.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm gonna use him as a weapon. That actually, I didn't think about too much about the Iron Giant in Ready Player One until maybe.
Exactly.
And then somebody brought up a good point. It's like I am not a gun, and then they're just using him as a gun in Ready Player One. And I thought about it like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, that's bullshit.
Well, by the way, like that's kind of one of the flaws, and. Okay, you have to stop me because I could literally talk about how much I despise Ready Player One for hours.
Oh yeah.
But that's one of the things I really hate about the movie is it uses nostalgia in a really blunt, shitty way, where it's like it uses it's the equivalent of like flashing a bunch of shit in your face, and it's like, hey, you remember Ninja Turtles? Hey, you remember Beast?
Like, hey, look at the keys! Look at the keys!
Yeah,
look at the keys!
It's the equip. Yeah, it's the equip. Like, hey, you remember Shark Tale? Or do you remember Street Sharks? Hey, do you remember Voltron? Hey, you remember Gundam? Oh, of course. And by the way, of course, the Asian kid has a Gundam. What other thing would he be interested in? It's anime. He's Asian. Duh. Like,
yeah.
Do you see why I hate the movie?
Although
kind
to
of?
be fair, though, I would totally go with that too.
Okay, sure, but like, I just anyway. Ready Player One sucks. I could have an entire podcast where I talk about how much I hate that movie. Have
you ever read the book?
I'm never going to read the book because I've heard segments of like, dude. Apparently the book is way worse. Apparently, like the weird like backwards sexist shit that's in the movie is actually they had to cut some of that stuff down from the book, which is way worse apparently. I've heard like excerpts of the book.
Yeah,
I've heard excerpts of it.
I'm a freak, even though I just had this weird little like.
Anyway.
Let's move past
you literally
it.
You have to stop me from talking about Ready Player One. I could literally talk about this movie for fucking eons. I swear.
Okay, let's talk about. All right, let's do our JoJo pose and talk about Florida Man, the anime, also known as JoJo Part 6 Stone Ocean. We didn't really see much. There was not really all that much. I guess. We just do the rest.
There we go.
Of the joke.
You have to hold the. Is this JoJo enough, or is it like that?
I think that's pretty JoJo. He's like holding for the thumbnail, and although I think that would be a bitch to trace out.
Yeah. Anyway.
We didn't see all that much. There was not much like footage. There was like one little
all I
excerpt.
need, dude, is the confirmation that it's here. That's it. Because
it's here. Because
after
ready.
After part 6, after part 5, it was kind of a coin toss whether or not Studio Dean was even gonna make part 6.
No, they were totally gonna do it. They'd be crazy not to.
I mean, this is true, but like it's one thing to be like, oh yeah, obviously they're gonna make part 6, but like you have to hear it first.
This is true.
Like if they're not gonna,
it's like Schrodinger.
like
It's like Schrodinger's cat. Without a confirmation, there's honestly, I'm just going this by a cynical marketing and capitalist mind point stuff like that. There's no way they wouldn't be able to do that. Like, they're crazy not to. The anime is done, or the manga's done. Well, actually, no, it's done for 2 arcs. So you could do Stone Ocean and you could do Steel Ball Run. Like, those are done.
Can you hold the floor for like a minute? I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick.
No, for sure. Here he goes. The wild Pat goes to take a leak right there. This is the ASMR portion of the weekly chat. You like that? Okay. As we're standing here, talking. Okay, I can't do this. This is creepy. Oh, man. But anyway, make sure to like and subscribe. Yeah, that's pretty much it. No, I'm going to do much better than that. Be sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to hit that bell. Make sure to comment within the first hour of this on YouTube. If you're seeing this on Twitch right now, give us a follow. Please, can we get a speckle? Please, can you spare a follow? Anyway, yeah. So, if anybody's in the chat right now, how's everybody doing today? You drinking enough water? I sure is not. All I've been doing is surviving on coffee and Sprite for the past couple of... And he's back.
I returned. Sorry about that. What did I miss?
I heard you.
I heard you was talking crap. That's right.
I heard you was talking shit. No. We did the ASMR portion of the podcast.
Oh,
I did a call to action.
I appreciate you doing this. The second call to action.
Yeah, but it was a call to action / ASMR bit, and I kind of lost my train of thought. So, yeah. And I was asking the viewers how they were doing.
Like and subscribe to the weekly chat with Nick and Pat on youtube.com/theweeklychat. Also, if you can please leave a comment within the first hour of the broadcast.
I feel like you're trying to hypnotize me.
It increases the viewability from YouTube's aggressive AF algorithm. Now back to your regularly scheduled show.
Is that ASMR enough for you?
It sounds like you're gonna do like an r/horror story.
Hey guys, it's Patrick here with another top 5 weirdest paranormal videos. Number 5, we see this video of this creature trying to get a hot dog. Patrick, that's a video of you. You don't know if that's true or not.
No, okay, I'll shut up now, bro.
What's the name of that guy that you're making fun of right now?
His name is Chills.
Chills. Oh.
Yeah.
Full on the nose, don't you think? Anyway, what's your history with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
I watched the anime. Actually, so when JoJo first came out, I knew that JoJo. The first time that I ever heard about JoJo, I had seen people talking about like the really old OVA from back in the day. Like there was like an adaptation of Part 3 that somebody had done years ago in like the really early 2000s, and I had seen.
I thought it was the 90s.
Was it it might have been the 90s. Sorry, yeah.
I think it just took so long that it actually was from like the 90s.
Oh, that's
to the
right.
2000s.
Because the first couple parts of so basically they adapted Part 3, and yeah, I think they started in the 90s and then it like bled over into the 2000s.
Yeah, because it would come out like once every like couple of years or something like that.
The only thing I knew about JoJo for a while before the Studio Dean adaptation was that there was like two. I saw the Dio versus Jotaro fight where
I saw it too.
It was the two of them kind of floating in the air. And the only thing I knew about JoJo was that Dio would say the world. And so.
All I knew was the road roller. Oh, road roller! That's it.
And the only
that's all I knew.
The only other thing I knew was that like I saw a random clip on YouTube of like the dog Iggy getting smashed, and Paul and Nerf going Iggy.
Iggy.
So then years later, when the Studio Dean adaptation came out, I actually wasn't interested in it at all. like at all. I was just like, no, that's.
I didn't even realize it was out until it was too late.
I was like, oh, that's nice. And I basically did this up until I did this for so long, for so many years, that part 1, 2, and 3 all came out, and then I only started to kind of get in. I basically got into JoJo right around the time that part 4 was about halfway done, and I'm like, so all my friends were watching it, and I was like, I kind of, and I remember when I used to.
I took like a 2-year gap between watching part 3.
When I used to collect, I used to get a magazine called Otaku USA, and I remember one of the covers, and maybe I'll dig through there sometime later in the podcast, but like one of the covers was of Phantom Blood, and it was Dio and it was Jonathan on the cover with these like masquerade masks, like and they had this whole article about Phantom Blood, and I was like, maybe I'll check that out. And then I didn't for years.
And it was
and then the internet collectively basically told me, hey, watch JoJo, jerk ass, and I'm like, all right. And then
I think I was one of the few people to convince you to start watching JoJo, because I watched Phantom Blood and Battle Tendency and I loved it.
Yeah.
I started watching part 3. I got like 10 episodes in, didn't watch it for years, and then just started watching it afterward. I still have yet to finish part 4.
But no, when I watched part 1, when I watched Phantom Blood, I was really confused, because the only thing I knew about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure was all the stuff that I talked about earlier with like Dio and like Jotaro, and I'm like, is this the same show?
Is this the same?
Like, and so I was like, where's the yellow guy? And like, what? And like, actually, my first question was that, like, when Dio first shows up in Phantom Blood, I'm like,
where's the world?
Well, I was like, no, doesn't JoJo's Bizarre Adventure take place in like modern day like Japan and Egypt? Like, why are they in like Victorian era? Why are they in the Victorian era? So I didn't realize that like each part was like a different time period, and so I was really confused. I'm like, what does this have to do with the floating yellow guy and like the roller? And then eventually I didn't realize it was going to catch up to that point. Actually, so just and now I've seen all of JoJo, and for anyone curious, part 1's pretty good. Part 2 is the best part. Part 3 is largely overrated. Part 4 is like is the most charming part, and part 5 is I cry every time, man. That's my review of all 5 parts of JoJo.
Yeah, it's
and I've read them.
Part 1 is basically Bram Stoker's Dracula. Part 2 is basically Raiders of the Lost Ark. Part 3 is The Mummy?
Yeah, it's like the Scorpion King.
it's like the Brendan Fraser Mummy. Part 4. How do I explain part 4?
Part 4 is a small is Twin Peaks basically. It's Twin Peaks.
Yeah. I was gonna say Stephen King, but that works too.
Yeah,
it's like a Stephen King story with like a colorful paint job.
It's like if you combine Twin Peaks and like a murder mystery and like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
It kind of is, yeah. And then part 5. How do I explain part 5?
It's a gangster story. It's a crime gangster story.
It's Goodfellas, but everybody's wearing Prince.
Yeah, exactly. It's Goodfellas, but everyone has magic powers.
Yeah, exactly.
So
am I funny? How? My clown? Do I amuse you? What the fuck is so funny, Giorno?
Yeah, exactly. If you were to describe
he's not
part
be a
5,
gangster story. He wants to be a gangster.
He's a gangsta, right? Also, part 5 has the most broken stand in the entire series.
It is one of the most broken stands in history. Yeah.
Freaking Golden Experience Requiem. It is the you lose button.
It pretty much
you
is.
Lose.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of another stand that gets
like even
to that level of lunacy.
Even Made in Heaven, and even every stand in the series, Star Platinum, The World, Made in Heaven. There's literally no stand can beat Golden Experience Requiem. No, you can't.
No, it's
unbeatable.
Lose. Good day, sir.
Yeah, literally, Golden Experience Requiem is you lose.
There is no coming back from the golden experience.
But what if I no? Okay,
No,
what if I'm
you just lose.
what if I'm crafty though? Nope.
No, you lose. You fight Jordo with that, you lose. Good
Yeah.
day, sir.
But
But anyway, Stone Ocean.
I have actually, so Stone Ocean was, because obviously there's no anime version of it, I read the entire manga of Stone Ocean. And so I was very excited to finally hear about the anime announcement for this.
Fucking time.
If they
Do you think they're gonna go balls to the wall and just animate everything? And you know what I mean when I say everything, but I don't want to say.
If they keep half the stuff that's in Stone Ocean, and I won't, I'm not gonna spoil anything. I promise. I won't spoil anything. But like, if they keep half the crap,
Snails.
if they keep half the stuff that's in the manga, we are in for a treat. Like, if you thought that part 5 was wild, like part 6 is literally, it's literally the bizarre part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This is a freak show compared to some of the other parts, dude.
Freak show. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
There is some stuff that happens, and there are some stands in part 6 that they're gonna. There's some stuff that happens in part 6, and there are some stands that are so specifically ridiculous. You're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, it's Florida Man, the anime.
It is. No, it is. It really is. There is some like bonkers crap that happens in part 6.
Oh man, I can't wait.
And I hope that
I've only heard legends, but this is good. Also, it's gonna be really refreshing.
Joel,
I feel like everybody.
But talking about the main character, so I talk about how ridiculous it is. The main character Jolene, as like the first prominent like female Joestar.
Jolie
is a great character. I heard people when they watched part 5 that they didn't like the character of Giorno, and I'm like, that's understandable. If you didn't like the character of Giorno in part 5 and you want more of a return to the standard kind of JoJo,
return to form.
If you want to return to form and you kind of want a more like traditional Jotaro type of protagonist, Jolene is that in spades. Like spades. Like profoundly so.
Yeah, we got to hear what she sounds like, or what she's going to sound like in the Japanese dub.
If you want, so minor spoil, like this is a spoiler, but like it's literally talked about in the first chapter of the book, so it's not that much of a spoiler. Jolene is the daughter of Jotaro. So
Shocker.
And so if you liked part 3 and you like Jotaro and you want to see his daughter do crazy crap, this is the part for you. Like essentially, like I guess without giving away the ghost, the setting for Stone Ocean is a prison. The basic plot is that Jolene Joestar is.
I thought it was Jolene Kuja.
Or sorry, but they're all Joestars. No,
Yeah,
you're
descended from Joe.
You're right though. Jolene Kujo.
I'm technically right, which is the best kind of.
You're technically right, and I'm like right now anyway.
Mhm.
But anyway, so she is basically framed for a murder that
A murder.
that I can't say too much, but like she may or may not have done. But like that's part of the story to kind of find out whether or not she was actually involved in that or not. So she is framed for a murder, and so she basically takes the fall for this shithead guy that she's dating, and as a result, she gets thrown into prison, and everyone in this prison is insane and has a stand, and so
Because why not?
So it's basically Orange is the New Black, but everybody has superpowers.
So that's like Yep, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Oh man, we got to hear what she sounds like too.
Yeah.
And she sounds incredible. Like I had an idea of what Jolene would sound like in the anime, and it's perfect. It is absolutely perfect. Yeah, we're gonna see some clown shoes here. This is it coming out this year or next year?
No idea. I just got water on my glasses.
Clean your glasses.
I freaking hate that. And by the way, this only ever happens when I'm streaming. I never whenever I go to drink water when I'm just like by myself playing a game or whatever. I never splash. It's only ever when I'm streaming that I get water splashed in my face or like LaCroix splashed in my face.
LaCroix.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
But anyway, yeah. The trailer didn't really show much. It just kind of showed like
it didn't really show anything. It just showed what Jolene would look like in the show, and then what she sounded like. And honestly, that's enough.
It was
that's all.
It was a teaser.
Oh, you tease.
But yeah, yay, Stone Ocean! It's gonna be great.
I know. I'm so excited.
I'm especially looking forward to watching the opening because
the opening's gonna be fire.
JoJo openings are usually pretty on point, but for this part specifically, I'm really curious what kind of song they'll use and what type of animation they use as well.
I see a lot of gray and a lot of cement.
There's a lot of like a lot of the color palette is like kind of like as the title
like
suggests, it's like a stone. So there's gray and concrete and asphalt, but there's also lots of like blues and lots of like aquamarine. Because like a lot of highlighter yellow. Yeah. So I'm curious to see that kind of color palette in an anime opening.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty legitness. Can I help you?
Anyway,
sorry, Ollie's on my desk right now. You can kind of see him right now.
Any final thoughts about Stone Ocean before we... Oh my god, this little guy, my little buddy,
I know.
My little friend.
Are you excited for? Hey, Oliver, who's your favorite Joestar?
Jonathan.
A man of culture.
Yes, nice. Oh my god.
Very nice.
Just to repeat myself, part 2 is the best part, and also Jonathan Joestar is the best Joestar. Changed my mind. I know what you're all saying. Well, what about Jotaro? What about Jotaro though?
I know Jotaro is super popular in Japan. I don't know for the USA and like.
Oh no. Without a doubt in my mind, Jotaro is the most popular Joestar. Without a doubt in my mind.
Do you ever see that famous? Do you know who Jotaro is based off of?
I think Araki bases his characters off of like a ton of different celebrities and a ton of different like personalities.
But do you know the main one that he based it off of?
No.
Clint Eastwood.
Oh yeah. I've heard about this.
There's this really famous picture of Araki giving Clint Eastwood a picture of Jotaro, and then he actually makes Clint Eastwood do the Jotaro pose and stuff like that. It's really cool. I'll find it. I'll put it on the notepad.
Yeah. All right. So that's basically it for news. So what we decided to do with the rest of the show is instead of talking about gaming news or whatever. Nick and I are just going to very casually discuss stuff we've been watching and stuff we would recommend to you guys. Do you want to go first or should I go first?
You go first because you're watching way more stuff than I am. I'm kind of in between shows right now.
Okay.
Like Ruby Volume 8 just ended. I just got done watching Jujutsu Kaisen, which I know you're watching right now.
Yes. So like just for like I didn't put it on the list, but like just for like games I've been playing, I finished the original Witcher. I finished Witcher Enhanced Edition.
You tossed a coin to your Witcher.
I did. Long story short about that game, I'm glad that I played it for the sake of completing all the Witcher games and just being able to say, oh yeah, I played all the Witcher games. But other than that, I wouldn't like. Let me put it to you this way: at least the Steam version. I don't know about the Xbox version or whatever. I wouldn't wish Witcher 1 Enhanced Edition on my worst enemies.
Really?
That is one of
like it would age kind of poorly.
It is one of the most poorly aged video games I've ever played in my life.
Really?
Like everything about it is clunky. You know, I've gone on about how the boss fights suck, right? Like everything in that game is just cumbersome and annoying. Like the potion making is annoying. The alchemy is annoying. Like upgrading your weapons is annoying. Like getting like just going places is annoying. Like
is it controlled very similarly to Wild Hunt at all?
No, not at all. And also the combat is like, hey, I hope you like spam clicking, because that's all the combat in that game. Like playing Witcher 1 is like playing Guitar Hero but with swords. Like that's what it is. Like every fight, so here's every fight in Witcher 1, right? So like a goblin will sneak up on you. And so Geralt will take his sword like Conan and go directly in front of an enemy and go and so you have to click.
Oh, that's kind of lame.
Yeah. Also, I found out later on that no matter what build order you go, the maxed out Igni spell is the most broken thing in that entire game. So if you
you're basically setting everybody on fire at that point.
If you want an instant win, if you're playing Witcher 1 and you just want to like, and you just don't give a crap about finding, and by the way, like when you max out the Igni spell, it doesn't matter what it doesn't matter what swords you have equipped. It doesn't matter what like armor you got equipped. It doesn't matter. Nothing you own matters once you have the maxed out Igni spell. Because like what? So when you max out all of the abilities for Igni, you get this like you can basically spam this like fire inferno around you. And there's no cooldown or anything. You could just go ba 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 ba. And like the fire inferno basically does like 10 of your attacks in damage.
Really?
And you can spam it. And as long as you have the mana for it, you can spam that attack. And on top of that, you have a chance to stun, burn, and like incapacitate certain types of enemies.
Okay.
With every casting. So literally the final boss
so I'm sure there's like enemies that are like weak to fire too, right? Or it doesn't even matter.
There's like if there were, I didn't run into any of them. Because literally, so like the final boss in the game is like you actually fight Eridan of the Wild Hunt as like the final boss. And literally all I did, I wish I was recording it. All I did was I walked up and went Igni, 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 Igni. Oh, you're dead. Like,
and you're just dead.
Like he didn't even get a chance. So like there was probably some.
He didn't even get a hit in.
He was probably supposed to do this thing with like summoning skeletons or using ice magic or whatever. But like no, I just walked up to. I walked up to him and basically went fire, 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 fire. Oh, you're dead.
Oh God.
But anyway, I'm glad.
That's kind of lame.
I downloaded Witcher 2 and I am in the process of learning how to mod that game. Oh, by the way, if you're gonna play Witcher 1, you have to mod it. Like. If you don't mod that game, it's like, that game is such a pile of asses if you don't mod it. Like, everything in that game. I know,
you showed me a pic, like, it is literally a night and day difference between pre-modded Witcher 1 and post-modded Witcher 1. It doesn't even look like the same game.
I posted
it doesn't even look like it's from the same console.
I posted this on Twitter, that's right. But yeah, there's a comparison photo I did of, like, there's this mod called like the White Wolf mod that basically is like a it's a bunch of mods.
Like a catch-all mod.
Yeah, it's like a mod that bundles a bunch of like quality of life stuff together, including like textures and stuff. And yeah, the game goes from looking like it should run on like an Atari 2600 to like, oh yeah, this is like an early PC game.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of thing. And like that's fine. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend playing Witcher 1 unless you like absolutely have to, because that game controls like butt butter.
Ew. I don't butt butter.
I'm trying to swear less, and so like every time I would default on a swear, I'm trying to like come up with something that's like not a swear.
Is there a Patton Oswalt sketch about that where it's just like, I'm gonna fill your hoo-ha with goof juice?
Yeah, like exactly. That's way worse than like, I'm gonna fuck your pussy. Or yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, that is a great Patton Oswalt sketch where he talks about that. Yeah, but anyway,
it's way worse.
And then I've been playing some Borderlands 2 recently. Although so I have two characters in True Vault Hunter mode, and here's the thing. So normal mode on Borderlands is like, it's not a cakewalk by any means, but like if you're not like, it's not hard, but it's not like easy either. Like you kind of like it's a decent challenge. But so like True Vault Hunter mode is basically like hard mode in that game. So there's like hard mode and then there's like very hard. And so like True Vault Hunter mode, you go from like, hey, it doesn't matter what build you have, it doesn't matter what character you're playing. if anything hits you twice, you will die. Like, everything from the tiniest spider to the final boss, if anything hits you like twice in a row, you're gonna die. Oh, what's that?
Really?
What's that? You have a maxed out commando with two shield abilities and an HP buff and a defensive stacking relic. Oh, what's that? You have HP regen. You actually spec your skill points into
Like you should be Wolverine in this case. You just taking
tissue
damage.
paper.
Nope.
Tissue paper.
Really?
Yeah. So I have a commando, and like I have abilities that are like, every time you hit an enemy with bullets, you get back some of your hit points, and like, I have an ability that basically is like, you get increased shield recharge, and like, if your shields are at full, you get HP regen. None of that stuff matters. Like, I had to respec my whole character because none of that crap matters. It doesn't matter.
So you probably just have to go the exact opposite
Blast
and try
cannon.
to like kill. Where you probably have to kill everything in one shot, otherwise they're going to kill you.
But
in
here's
one
the
shot.
thing: in true Vault Hunter mode, though, all of the damage that your guns do is like completely like gutted. So like you literally have to you either have to farm for very specific legendary weapons or good luck killing anything in that game.
Oh man.
But yeah, so I've been
That's a bit of a bummer.
I've been kind of I'm in a very love-hate relationship with Borderlands 2 right now because like I like the game, but true Vault Hunter mode is pissing me off so much that like I have that moment where like why am I even like I play for like an hour and I
Why
die
do I
like
do this to myself?
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where like I play it for about an hour, I die about 20 times, and I throw my hands up in the air and I say, why am I even playing this?
Is true Vault Hunter mode like the insanity difficulty?
No, so there's true Vault Hunter mode and then there's ultimate. I can only imagine how hard ultimate Vault Hunter mode is. Ultimate Vault Hunter mode is probably just like you die.
You die. You step on a spike and you die.
Yeah, but anyway, those are like the games I've been playing.
I haven't really been playing much. I just picked up Attack on Titan Final Battle Season 2. It's very strange because that game has like one of the most in-depth character creators.
Oh
I've
yeah,
ever
we
played
were messing around with the character creator. That was fun.
Yeah, I got him made like a little cowboy. He literally looks like young Kenny the Ripper, except a lot more handsome.
He's got a big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip.
Big
iron on his hip.
Yeah, he has like a cowboy hat, and I kind of made like this black and gray and silver motif. You can change the color of the jacket of your character. That's so badass. I'm still trying to get a handle on combat.
Oh yeah,
because combat's kind of tricky. Where like you have to hook on it, you have to lock on, hook, and then you have to like swing to get like the target reticle in there. I'll play around with it a lot more. I'm making myself a proclamation. I need to finish Valkyria Chronicles 1.
Yeah. I gotta go back and finish number 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of in between games right now. I'm playing a little bit of Vermintide 2, not a whole lot. I want to play a lot more Borderlands 2 as well.
Dude, the last time I played Vermintide, dude, that game is like whatever patch I was on, that game is broken, dude. I was like, so okay, you know how you go through like you queue up into a match and you like play with people online and you go through and you do the mission.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the last time that I played, the rewards did not spawn for me after we completed the map 3 times in a row.
Oh my god.
So like imagine and by the way, each encounter in Vermintide 2 takes about like 30-40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
We should play.
Imagine playing for an hour and a half. Imagine playing for an hour and a half and not getting any rewards.
Are you playing a recruit?
No, I was playing the normal ass queue mode. I was playing on the lowest difficulty setting with like just like quick play.
Okay.
And
dude,
like,
we should stream it again one of these days. It was so much fun.
I'll download it. I took it off my computer because it was broken. So if they fix it, I'll download it again. But
I literally just played it last week and it runs super smooth.
Okay.
Yeah, they literally done like 2 or 3 patches since probably the last time we played. So.
Okay, fair enough.
Plus, I want to get my memory reflexes going for Darktide, Warhammer 40k. That's gonna be so much fun. I'm gonna talk about, but yeah, that kind of leads into what I've been doing for the past couple of days, just burying my head in Warhammer 40k lore videos. That's really all I've been watching. Oh god.
But
You ever want to have fucking nightmares and shit like that? Just put on some Warhammer 40k videos about like the Chaos Dominion or something. And
I've actually been recently going into the lore of like all of the like I've been playing Borderlands 2, and I've also been playing Borderlands the pre-sequel, which is like the game that takes place before 2. And there's like all the characters have like lore, and so there's actually so in the pre-sequel you can play as a character called Timothy Lawrence, and he's basically like a body double for Handsome Jack.
Oh, okay.
And so there's literally a class in the pre-sequel called the doppelganger, and so you literally play as a guy who like is like a carbon copy of Handsome Jack, and you basically so everywhere you go, everyone thinks that you're Handsome Jack, and so
they try to kill you.
Yeah, they're like, hey, that guy's Handsome Jack, kill him. So
Kill him.
Yeah, so
That'd be the way to do it, I guess.
yeah. But that's just like games I'm playing. In terms of like stuff I'm watching, yeah, I've been kind of reading One Piece manga and Attack on Titan week to week.
It's gotten so good. That fucking last chapter was incredible.
But in terms of like new anime I'm watching, oh sorry, but yeah, the newest chapter was good.
It's pretty good, dude. Zoro with that new sword is like is another level. I think they're not quite Yonko level, but they're just like they're almost.
They
there.
knocked Big Mama into the ocean, or maybe I don't know.
Well, she's falling right now, so you know they're gonna try to
falling.
Oh god, can I just say that Big Mom as a Yonko has been very, very underwhelming for me?
No, I disagree. I love Big Mom as a Yonko. She like what I like about Big Mom is that she's crazy and has like. How do I say this? She is chaotic and crazy and has no filter for anything, and she has like insane powers. So like it's
okay, that's fair.
This combination of like she's one of the most powerful people on the planet. She's like chaotic evil, and she doesn't give a crap. And so
no, she will literally eat her kids.
She has like a whole kind of warped perspective of the world, and that colors everything that she says and does, to the point where like Whole Cake Island is like a nightmare Alice in Wonderland type place where like everything on Whole Cake Island either wants to kill you or is like is something that is like trying to die or something trying to kill you. Like I love Big Mom, dude. I love Big Mom. I love the fact that her design is really minimalistic. How like you would look at Big Mom and be like, oh, she's not that powerful. No, she'll kick your ass.
I mean, she's fucking huge. She's like almost the size of Kaido. And
yeah.
Kaido's like the size of a giant.
I love the fact that she is giant. Like I know she's actually a giant, but even for a giant, she's huge.
Yeah. Like she's not as tall as Kaido is, but like I think they're roughly around the same size.
Right.
Which begs the question, how the fuck has shit like we better get some Shanks stuff in the next arc. It's time.
Yeah.
Like, we've got like
we were talking about we were talking about this off stream last week, but yeah. Some of the stuff in One Piece that's been kind of dangling in front of us for a while, like who is Dr. Vegapunk? Who is what's the deal with Shanks? What's the deal with Dragon? Stuff that we've been like talking about since the beginning of the series. Can we like finally get some answers for those?
Yeah. Come on, Oda. Chop.
No, Oda's going like, listen, my good friend J.J. Abrams taught me about this thing called the mystery box, and I have to.
I would like to think that maybe Oda gave some pointers to like it's a reversal.
Okay.
Like, no, I'm the one who taught Abrams about the mystery box.
It's me. Yeah, just hey Abrams, just vaguely mention something and then don't talk about it for like 5 movies. I guess that it's like, how am I able to wield the lightsaber? I guess your father's instincts got passed on to you. My father don't worry about it.
Oh,
or some crap like that, right?
It's something similar, yeah.
Like
One Piece is pretty good. I want Zoro to finally go. I mean, he's kind of going all out now, but I want him to go like full demon mode, Ashura, like 10 swords.
Yeah.
Kaido's half form is pretty menacing too. Although, like, I love how he's like actually doesn't want to get hit now by Luffy.
Oh yeah.
Because like Luffy's just like,
oh God,
shit, you can actually kill me.
You're gonna punch me in my plates.
I think that we're gonna get a new Luffy form this fight. I think Gear 5 is finally happening, or like another version of like Gear 4.
Perhaps.
Or maybe
Although I feel like
I
I feel like the Bound Man is still pretty new, so maybe.
yeah, Bound and Snake Man are pretty new, but like I feel like for a Yonko fight, especially he's fighting 2 Yonko right now, he needs to have something. He either needs to awaken his Double Fruit, or finally like bust out Gear 5. Giant Man! I'm calling it now. Luffy's gonna inflate himself so much that he's gonna turn into a giant.
He's gonna turn into Ors or whatever.
Yeah, or something.
Ors! Yeah.
He's gonna be not quite as big as Kaido, but
Yeah.
like I think he's gonna turn like pretty huge.
But just in terms of like other stuff, so like that's just stuff I'm keeping up with week to week. But like here's new things I watched recently, that I recommend. I started watching Jujutsu Kaisen because like I haven't really watched any. I haven't really watched any new anime for a long time.
It's so.
I've been meaning to get
good.
into the only thing I kind of care about this season is this show called Wonder Egg Proxy, which I hear is like bonkers.
I hear that's been pretty good. I keep hearing that name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People say that it's like Monogatari, and that's kind of piqued my interest if it's anything like Monogatari. Although I heard that about Senpai Dreams of Bunny Girl, and it ended up not being the case, so we'll see.
We'll see.
But anyway, so Jujutsu Kaisen, new shonen series. I don't know. This is kind of seinen to me. It's kind of seinen to me.
It's pretty shonen.
But like it's kind of graphic for a shonen. It's like
it is very graphic for a shonen.
It's got violence on the level of like Attack on Titan.
It kind of does, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like this weird cross between Naruto, Yu Yu Hakusho, a little bit of My Hero, a little bit of D Gray Man.
Yeah, it definitely has like it definitely feels a lot like D Gray Man for sure. That's actually the vibe I got kind of watching it. It's like a little bit it's like D Gray Man, but like definitely less gothic.
Yeah, it's more like demonic.
Yeah, so like to me it kind of seems like a combination of like, oh, we're gonna take a little bit of Yu Yu Hakusho, and we're gonna take a little bit of Demon Slayer, and we're gonna take a little bit of D Gray Man, and kind of like pour it into a big old bucket, and kind of and Jujutsu Kaisen pops out.
Yep. Dude, it was one of those things where like it's kind of slow to start.
No, honestly, I actually felt the opposite. I've only seen 5 episodes of it.
I thought it was too.
Yeah, I actually thought it was way too fast to get. I thought it was like they really accelerated a lot of crap in the first couple episodes, where they're just kind of like,
"Where are you at now?"
So like
in terms of the show.
So the main character he died during the he died during that investigation at the school or whatever, where they had to take out like the fetus or whatever. This show is weird, but like out of context this is gonna sound so bizarre, but like essentially there's like the show's about these kids who are basically like exorcists, and they have like, so there are these things in the show called curses, and they're basically like the manifestation of like sadness and anxiety and like depression and like negative emotions basically, right? And so like it's kind of like if you've ever seen Bleach, they're kind of like the Hollows. There are these like eldritch horror manifestations of negative human emotions, and like some of them are like really weak and easy to kill, and some of them are like these like god tier threats.
Some of these things are like way too goddamn powerful to actually kill.
And what I actually like about the curses, like the enemies, it's really confusing because like curses are like the enemy, but like the characters also have powers that they call curses, so it's like it's a little hard to like tell, like, are you talking about like their powers, or are you talking about the monsters?
I think it's like the Force, where it's just like you have the light side and the dark side, not so much, but like you can kind of tap into like the Force, and you can kind of shape it however you want,
right? And so there's a part in the part where I'm at, the 3 main characters, they kind of they form like their little squad, #squad goals.
I love the squad. I love that trio so much.
So they form their little squad, and they go to investigate a school that has this like floating fetus. It's so like, again,
the little demon fetus thing. Yeah. That thing was creepy.
There's like an evil fetus that like floats above this school, and it's like and it creates this barrier where like all these evil
The veil,
monsters,
yeah.
this like evil. It's sort of like the reality marbles from like Fate, if you guys have heard of that.
Yeah,
kind of,
that is exactly it.
it basically creates this like dark territory that like creates all these
Oh, man.
all these ghosts and like all these evil
Oh
apparitions.
man, I cannot wait for you to finish this season because if you think it's weird with a beard now, you ain't seen nothing
I like
yet.
how like bizarre it is, and I like how it's like I feel like a lot of shonen shows kind of play it safe with like their antagonist characters, and they're just kind of like,
Oh no,
here,
not with this one.
here are these goofy villain characters for you to fight. Oh no, everything that they come across is like a Shin Megami Tensei demon, and I love it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so
Wait,
like,
oh god, wait till you see like the actual like, wait till you see like the main villains that we fought.
But yeah, so so during this investigation, the main character dies, but I'm there's 20 more episodes, so I'm assuming he's not dead. I'm gonna go ahead and assume he's not dead. But he dies during this investigation, and now the other two members of the squad, they're like getting together with like the upperclassmen who like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of hate all the upperclassmen.
What?
No. I'm so, listen.
You're a fool.
Listen.
You need to hold your thoughts for a second. I
hate them. There's like one of them.
You will grow to love them.
So
you will grow. You just keep at it. You will grow to love
the only
it.
one of them that I like is like the glasses girl. She's fine, but like the other two, I just yeah.
You don't like Panda?
I'm sorry. Why is he a panda? I'm sure they explain it. But
all will be revealed.
I'm sure that they explain it. But like, why is he a panda?
Oh, they explain why he's a panda. No, they go into pretty good. They get like in the next arc, which is a couple episodes from now. They get a lot of development. So hold that thought. Just hold your reservations and just kind of.
And then the other member of the upperclassmen is like this guy. He's got like a collar and like his whole. I hate his gimmick where like, oh, he can only talk in the ingredients of like a rice dish, and it's like, stop. Just stop, please. I know. Listen, shonen authors. I understand. Sometimes it's fun to have a gimmick character, but like, you can go too far down the rabbit hole of stupid character gimmicks.
Well, there's a reason why he has to do that.
Okay.
You will see. You will change your tone.
Again, I'm going off of first impressions, but like I sort of hate the upperclassmen. I sort of hate all of them except for the glasses girl.
Upperclassmen are so good. You just have to keep at it.
So like the last episode I saw, they basically were inviting the other two members of the squad to like, hey, participate in this tournament thing, and then the episode ended, and I haven't picked it up. But yeah, I'm enjoying that. I actually the animation is really good.
It's really, really. I think it's Mappa that does it. Yeah, I know for a fact that it's Mappa. Dude, Mappa's been killing it the past couple of days.
I thought that the animation so far has been pretty kick-ass.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. Trust me. Jujutsu Kaisen is like a roller coaster that doesn't drop. It just keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then like the quality gets better, and it'll give you some feels. It gave me some feels. I
don't know how I feel about the main character yet. He's like kind of hit and miss for me because like on the one hand, I like the fact that they're trying to do this like Naruto type thing where like, oh, there's this like kind of goofy hearted idiot, but inside him there's this like evil demon. I thought that was like a little weird that like during the first episode when his grandfather dies, he's like not that upset about it. He's just kind of like, oh well, my grandfather died. That sucks.
It's one of those things where like it makes sense, especially like where he is now in the story. Like I can't say, this is why I need you to finish it because that way we can start talking about it because I don't want to spoil anything.
All right, I'll tell you what. Next week when I watch more episodes, I will I'll give you an update on where I'm at.
All right, cool.
Let me see. Where the frick is it? Okay. I saw a movie on Netflix, and it's probably going to be my favorite movie of this year. It's a movie called I'm Thinking of Ending Things. And
yeah, you were telling me about that.
Here's the thing that sucks about this movie is that I can't I can't tell you why it's good without giving away. Like the movie has like a twist at the end, and if I told you anything about it, it would ruin the movie.
Okay.
It's one of those things you just gotta go in blind, but just trust
Mm.
me. And here's the thing: you're gonna watch this movie, and you're gonna think you have it figured out by the time that the first hour rolls around. I promise you, you don't know anything. It's one of those movies where like you think you have it figured out after the first like hour and a half, and you're like, I got this movie by the balls. No, you don't.
No, you don't. I love movies like that.
No, you don't. The movie's gonna pull the rug out from under you and then kick you while you're down.
Oh man.
But in a good way.
In a good way. All right.
In a good way though. It is a fantastic movie. Everybody go see it. But here's the thing. The movie is called I'm Thinking About It Things. Don't watch actually the trailer is actually fine. You can watch the trailer. The trailer doesn't give anything away. Do not read any articles about it. Do not read any reviews of it. Do not don't do any research about it. Don't just trust me.
You just gotta hop in.
Just go see it. Be as blind as possible.
Okay.
It's good shit. Oh, I started watching David Fincher's Mindhunters on Netflix.
How was that?
I love it. It's really good. Essentially, the show is about these two FBI agents in the 80s who they get together with a researcher from Boston to basically create a profile on like serial killers. Because essentially, like in the
very Hannibal-esque.
Yeah. So what happens is the main character is named Holden, and he's an FBI hostage negotiator. And he like gets interested in like the psychology of like the criminal element, and so he and his friend he and his upperclassman Bill Tetch, who is the best character, so he and his coworker Bill Tetch, they basically form a like research crime division unit, which at first is kind of frowned upon because people at the FBI are like, the FBI, we've had the same training and profiling for the last 30 years. We don't need to change anything. Screw your psychology. Meh. But then the main characters, they start to actually get results from their research. And so what the series is about is it's kind of like the movie Seven, where it's not a movie
in the box?
Not like that.
Damn it.
It's like the movie Seven because it's not, the show is not about solving crimes, although that does happen. The show is less about like trying to stop violence and more about seeing the aftermath of violence, because
I can see
the
that.
main hook of the show is that the two main characters, Bill and Holden, they go from prison to prison and they interview serial killers, including Ed Kemper, and later in season 2, Manson.
Like
the Manson, like Charles Manson.
The Manson.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Charlie Manson.
And so it's, if you're going in expecting something like Law and Order, where like I'm gonna shoot you in the head, like that's not this show. This show is about really brutal conversations about the aftermath of violence, and I know I'm not doing a very good job of explaining it, but like it's very addictive. It's a good show. It's David Fincher, for God's sake.
Yeah, like there's no way.
It's so good.
But yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle. I guess I'll talk about what I'm watching now.
Yeah, and that's about it. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm actually doing a twofer. I'm actually watching two things made by the same guy. I'm watching Seinfeld right now. I'm kind of catching up on that. I'm watching Seinfeld for the first time.
Yeah.
But I'm also watching Curb Your Enthusiasm too. It's Larry David. Yeah. So far it's been a treat. So far, just kind of seeing like what the hype has been about. Like I've been telling people like, oh yeah, I'm watching Seinfeld night. They're cool. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, that's cool, man. But then I tell them I'm watching Curb for the first time too, and they like literally they just slap their hands down. They're just, you're watching Curb Your Enthusiasm for the first time, you lucky son of a bitch. And I was like, oh, okay. Larry David's characters that he like talks with are some of the most petty fucking characters ever in the history of fiction, and I'm all for it.
I've only seen a handful of episodes, and I thought it was okay.
It's pretty good. It's one of those things where like it's kind of the first season blues right now because like it's a very old. I think it came out in like '99 or something. So everything just looks kind of like ancient.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's really fun.
It's like when you watch something like The Sopranos and you notice that like the quality of the camera is not as good as like modern day shows or whatever.
I would have to disagree. I think it looks very consistent.
But like you know what I'm saying,
show.
right? Like when you watch a show from like even something like The Wire, which is a gorgeous show, you can kind of tell that like the camera technology is kind of dated and like the filmmaking is a little dated. Stuff like that. And I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that like it's a product of its time.
It is quite a bit, but it's one of those things where like you really don't focus so much on like the technology aspect of it, and because you're just so engrossed with the character. Like the characters are why you tune in for these like HBO shows. Like
no, I get that. Like although here's the thing, my brain is always firing at like 1,000,000 miles an hour when it comes to watching shows like this, especially like older shows, where like I'm trying to pay attention to the story, but also I'm like, oh, like I recognize that actor, or like, oh, like this is a really high quality set, or like, oh, like the makeup and cosmetics are really good. I have like 1 billion things going on at once when I watch stuff like this.
Well, it's like we're obsessed with like the makings of like movies and TV shows. Like we want to know how did they do that? Like how did they make it?
Right.
But yeah, but at least for like Curb, it's not like super crazy like production quality. Like it's a very it's not like low quality as in it looks bad. Like it looks as good as it needs to look. Yeah,
like I said, it's
a very Larry. It was a very Larry David setup. It is a very much product of its time. Although it's really funny because like people just like they should just rename the show to like Petty Slights the TV show.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because Larry will just like not even realizing that he'll actually like just sort of like give somebody a petty slight, and it's like they want like revenge. Like it's almost like a Shakespearean vendetta against Larry David, or vice versa. Yeah, but usually, at least for the episodes that I've seen, it is it's like a grudge, like a superhero grudge, like between Luthor and Superman. It's like I will crush you. You will be dirt beneath.
I love that one clip of Justice League Unlimited. There's like a story arc where Flash basically swaps bodies with Lex Luthor.
Good Lex Luthor, yeah.
And there's a part where like Barry Allen as Lex Luthor is in the bathroom and he's talking to like one of Darkseid's like henchmen or whatever, or like one of the Titans. And so he's talking to this guy in the bathroom, and Barry's like, I gotta get out of here. And so he walks out of the bathroom, and the guy looks at Lex and he's like, aren't you gonna wash your hands? And Barry turns around and says, no, because I'm evil.
Evil. On the flip side of that, there was at least like Lex Luthor in Barry Allen's body. He like, at least I can find out the Flash's secret identity. And then he lifts it and he looks at the mirror. It's like, I have no idea who this guy is.
I have no idea who this is.
Oh man, Justice League Unlimited is so good. It's on HBO Max right now. I've been kind of itching to rewatch it now.
Do it. Although here's like, if you do that, you're gonna watch Justice League, then you're gonna watch Justice League Unlimited, then you're gonna have to watch Young Justice. So be careful. Then you're gonna have to watch Batman Beyond. Then you're gonna have to watch Static Shock.
I fail to see the problem.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, I understand.
But yeah, those are the only two things I've been watching right now. I want to catch up on My Hero because I still have not finished season 4. Going into season 5, so I kind of waited way too long to like for the episodes to like catch up and fill up.
I get you.
But now I'm really sad.
I mean, on the bright side, now you have a ton of episodes to watch.
It's not that much. I think I got like 95% of the way done with season 4, and then I needed to finish it. But yeah, I still have quite a few episodes to watch, so I'm pretty excited about that.
I just saw episodes. I am watching that week to week as well these days. Attack on Titan, the final season, and then My Hero. And so this last episode, we have like, spies and espionage. Hawks, he's undercover at the League of Villains, but he's going full Severus Snape.
It's a ruse, a deception.
He's going full Severus Snape. He's playing for both teams, but which team will come out on top?
Oh, I know the answer to that. I'm just not going to say.
Yeah, of course. But no, like I said earlier, it was a really good Endeavor episode where it was kind of him coming
Talking with his family.
Yeah, talking to his family, and then they smash cut to Mineta, and I was like, God damn it, I was having such a good time this episode, and you have to ruin it. You ruined this, my hero.
I hope that Mineta actually like grows up by the end of the series. Like he actually like grows to be a man and a good person instead of like that horny. I either want him to be sacrificed horribly. Like I wonder if this is something that Horikoshi's doing where he's just making like such an unlikable fucking character.
No, Mineta is going to be around until the final chapter, I guarantee you, because shonen Japanese writers and shonen writers, they love the arrow character. And if you don't know what the arrow character is, basically, you might have noticed if you watch anime for any amount of time, you might notice that there's like even in like a normal show, there's always going to be one character who's like, oh my god, you have big old titties. I have a big old I got a problem in my pants. If you can help me solve it, ladies.
That's why I really like.
Nobody clip that. Nobody clip that.
Oh, I'm gonna clip it.
Nobody clip that.
I will clip that.
Stop it.
No. You see, this is your problem. Because you're actively inviting people to do this shit. And now me as the prankster that I am is going to do this. So congratulations. I wouldn't have done that.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
You played yourself. See, how long is this?
Well, I feel bad.
2 hours and 6 minutes.
I feel bad because I've been marathoning Hollow Live clips, and they have moments like that too, where they chat will try to trick them into saying something. So there's a running joke in the Hollow Live community where people will go to various Hollow Live Japan members, and some of them have varying degrees of English. Some of them are really fluent in English, but some of them are only only have a remedial understanding of English. And so what English bros in America will do is they'll go on these Japanese streams and they'll send super chats to these girls, and they'll say things like eating so time to simp. No, so they'll say things so a running joke in the Hollow Life community is eating Mike Tyson's asshole.
What?
I'm not kidding. It's a running gag where overseas bros will go to these Japanese live streams and they'll send super chats in English. And so imagine these adorable anime girls reading eating Mike Tyson's asshole. So they try to get these girls to I
can't do a Mike Tyson right now.
They try to trick these girls into saying these horrible things in English, even though they don't understand what they mean.
Oh, what is that? That's that really famous Rush Hour blooper where Jackie Chan's talking about Chris Tucker about porn or something.
Oh yeah.
And Jackie Chan or Chris Tucker made Jackie Chan's I like the one with the horses. Wait, what does that mean?
Yeah, exactly.
He basically just tricked Jackie Chan into saying he loves bestiality. It's exactly the same thing.
It's me, Chris Tucker.
Damn!
Chris Tucker's one of those actors who I want to love, but there's I can't point at a Chris Tucker movie and say, oh yeah, I loved Chris Tucker in that.
I liked him in the Rush Hour movies. I liked him in Friday 1.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen Mystery Man.
Oh yeah. He was in Friday. That's right.
Yeah, he's Smokey.
All right.
Smokey.
All right. I guess I can point to one movie and say Chris Tucker was pretty good in Friday.
Yeah.
Including Friday.
Well, I kind of like Friday, especially Friday.
I'm very happy that the Boondocks is coming back.
It's coming back on HBO Max. I'm so excited.
I'm very happy that the Boondocks is returning.
I know.
Apparently, the Boondocks and allegedly Mike Judge is in talks to do King of the Hill again.
I know. I heard that. Although that would be Fox though, so that would be Disney Plus. King of the Hill.
I mean, honestly though, if you're Disney and
if you could have The Simpsons on there, you can definitely have King of the Hill.
Yeah, I was gonna say
although it would be one of those things where you probably would have to take out a few episodes.
Especially since King of the Hill
no. No, they would keep it on Hulu. Actually, they wouldn't put it on Disney Plus because
you know
Disney
what this is.
Shit.
You know how Disney has Touchstone Pictures. So do you know the story behind Touchstone Pictures?
No.
Okay, so Touchstone Pictures is basically Disney's way of smuggling in content that is not appropriate for Disney Channel.
Oh yeah.
So essentially,
I have heard of it.
basically Touchstone Pictures is basically Disney under a different under a different name.
It's like a Buena Vista Productions or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It's like one of the.
So like you might have noticed that stuff like the Nightmare Before Christmas. It's not a Disney movie. It's a Touchstone movie. You see
Although Disney loves to whore out Nightmare Before Christmas.
Of course they do. But like when the movie was in production, Disney was kind of like, I don't know, this might be a little too out there for us. So like, it's not a.
But then they saw how much shit that it actually sold. It's
right.
Like, okay, we're gonna whore it out now. This is ours.
So it's kind of the same deal where yeah, it's them just kind of under. It's like have you heard about the Pascal's Pizza thing?
Oh.
Okay, so during the you've never heard this story? That's hilarious. Okay, so when the pandemic first hit, this pizza company came out of nowhere. This like nationwide chain of pizzas showed up, and they called themselves Pascal's Pizza.
Okay.
And like, they opened up these chains, and people went, and it's like, and so like the pizza was like middle of the road pizza.
Okay.
But then somebody made the connection. They said, I've had this pizza before, but I can't remember where. And so it got leaked to the public that Pascal's Pizza was actually the same pizza used at Chuck E. Cheese's.
Oh.
So what ended up happening
sneaky.
So what ended up happening is that during the pandemic, obviously nobody could go to Chuck E. Cheese, right? And so, but here's the thing, Chuck E. Cheese had all this like, well, crap. We have all these ingredients. We have all these like bags of flour. We have all these like, we have
you think they're actually making the dough
or you know what I'm saying? Like we have all this stuff right in a warehouse. We have like millions of dollars worth of stuff in a warehouse somewhere, just sitting and rotting during a pandemic. And if we don't use it, it's gonna go bad. So what do? So they opened up Pascal's Pizza. They just didn't call it, but if you went to Pascal, so congratulations. If you went to a Pascal's Pizza during the pandemic, you were eating Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
You had Chuck E. Cheese pizza. Oh, that's amazing. But I want to go back to that King of the Hill.
I'm shocked you never heard about this. That's hilarious. Okay.
There's a lot of stuff that there's a lot of stuff I don't hear about.
Yeah, King of the Hill.
But I want to go back. Yeah. Did you hear what the premise of this King of the Hill revival would actually be?
Older Bobby,
but like, yeah, it's gonna be 15 years in the future, and I'm just like, Mike Judge, Greg Daniels, you owe us a writing credit.
Didn't we in one of the Lost episodes talk about a hypothetical King of the Hill show?
Yes, and it sounds very similar to.
They saw that episode, and then it faded off of Twitch, and now they don't have to pay us royalties.
No,
I'm coming for you, Mike Judge.
No, like honestly, King of the Hill is like, it's kind of gained like this resurgence almost because it's back on Hulu. So yeah, I hope it actually comes to fruition.
Oh my God. Honestly though,
I can't work this damn iPhone.
If you were gonna make a sequel to King of the Hill and it was like tonally consistent with the first series, Disney Plus could greenlight that in a heartbeat. It could. It would be one of those.
It would be better on Hulu. I agree. As like a Hulu original.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's where they take all the other stuff like Rick and Morty and like
the more questionable material. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Touchstone. Like they can put all the stuff on there, but they can still make a lot of money. But yeah, I think they would that would be like a great product for Hulu if that was like a Hulu original King of the Hill.
Get some, because like Hulu needs a lot more original like content. They need more people. They need a hook. They need a gimmick to get people to come to their platform.
There's a few things like that, but it's like very like culty and underground, like Solar Opposites and Letterkenny, and like they're doing their own original movies now. So they're trying to build something.
Like HBO Max, to their credit, has like the Snyderverse and Justice League and like all this. There's a reason that some people would go to HBO Max.
Well, and just for the sheer volume of stuff like the Criterion Collection and like Studio Ghibli, I think it's the only legal place that you can actually stream.
HBO Max has a sizable catalog of content, and it's good content.
It's good content. It's not like the weird bulk shit that you see in the middle of Netflix. Yeah. So I hope that HBO Max does really well. I hope they kind of like
it seems
put
to me
Netflix
that like
in their place because Netflix has gotten way too goddamn complacent.
oh yeah, for
over
sure
the
they
past
have.
couple of years. What was
Hey,
the
hey,
last
hey, Netflix, hey,
original
Netflix.
that you?
Oh, to answer your question, before I go on my sarcastic rant, Netflix original,
Like Shira's done, Kippo's done. There's like Dragon Prince, but that's about it.
what was the
And
last one
there's
that I
stuff like-
watched? I'm trying to think.
Well, I was saying like, which was the one that you were like jonesing for that you have to see?
Okay, Kakigurui
you're
for
well-
sure.
Yeah,
Kakigurui for sure. Dragon Prince for sure.
there's Gretzko.
Gretzko, yeah, obviously. Like they have good stuff. Don't get it twisted.
No, they have good stuff, but like what back in the day, like when Orange is the New Black,
It took a
and,
long
like,
time to
House
get
of
here.
Cards. Yeah, it took a long time to get there, but like Netflix back then they had a certain level of prestige to it. Like
Yeah.
this is the premier stuff. Like we're creating our own stuff, like House of Cards and Orange is the New Black, and then like it just kind of fizzled out. It's like, what do we have now? Like
Okay, all right. The Netflix show You is a guilty pleasure. It is such.
I know it's a guilty pleasure for you, but I mean like
I am waiting with bated breath for season 3. I am Listen, so Lindsay Ellis has this phrase where she calls something my trash.
yeah,
The show You is my trash. It's one of
It
those
is your
shows
trash.
where as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, this is so bad. Give me the popcorn. It's hey, do you like Dexter? Hey, like what if they did Dexter, but instead of him being a serial killer, he's a creepy stalker, and like
oh man,
it's so delightfully shit, but I love it. It's like, by the way, so this show in the trailer for You, they try to hook people by saying from the writers of Riverdale.
oh god.
I'm like, that should not be how you.
Speaking of the CW, did you see that they announced some casting
for
the girls and for Professor Utonium?
Oh, for
Do you want to
Powerpuff
know
Girls?
who's playing Professor? Yeah. Do you want to know who's playing Professor Utonium?
Denzel Washington.
Close.
Oh, I was joking.
No,
Okay.
it's JD's. Oh god, what the hell is that guy's name from Scrubs?
JD
I wanna say
Salinger, the writer of Catcher on the Rye.
No, his friend, the surgeon, his best friend.
Oh yeah,
Tucker.
yeah. I don't know the
Yeah,
actor. I know the guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing the professor.
Oh, nice.
And then the girls look pretty good. They like you could totally buy them playing adult Powerpuff Girls.
Okay.
I don't know how they're gonna do like the little mutant. Are they gonna have like a flashback where they look like mutants?
I hope that they don't go full fuck Batman, where like that like Teen Titans trailer where like Robin is like fuck Batman.
You know what's really funny? That was actually a dream sequence. Or that was like a nightmare sequence.
Okay.
They love to do nightmare sequences.
Yeah.
For some reason.
You know, a lot of those DC shows, I think that people really like the dream sequence in the first Justice League, the one where like Batman is in like the apocalyptic future. And so I think a lot of the DC shows are kind of running with that. They're like, oh, like vague dream sequences that foreshadow things. Let's do it.
All right.
But anyway, we're getting kind of near the end of the show. Do you want to wrap up this show with a few more Never Have I Ever questions?
I can do that.
We did not get to finish the list from last time, so let me.
We could do a couple.
Let me.
Where's the list?
It's on
I think it's on the notepad.
It's on the notepad. Yeah. Let me find it real quick.
Jolene.
She better have a kick-ass character theme. That's all I'm saying.
Right. What do you think it's gonna be like punk rocky? Like Jonah Jet. I think it's gonna be like a Jonah Jet sort of vibe. Like I'm damn about a bad reputation.
Oh yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, that's gonna be like a.
Come on, hang on. I have it, but the link is being stupid. Give me a second. Come on. If push comes to shove, I'll just read it on my phone.
I haven't pulled up. Here,
there
I'll
it is.
do the first one.
There it is. I got it. First of all, let me just get back to our regularly scheduled programming on the stream real quick. Let me just go like that. Let me go like that. Let me go like that. full screen like that, and then that one. All right, great.
All right.
Perfect.
I think.
Let me.
Okay, I think I remember where we left off. So
Alligator. Have you ever ridden an animal?
I think the last one that we did was Never Have I
Gone
Ever.
surfing, broken a bone in
The
my
movie,
body.
the movie one was the last one that we did because that was the one. So I'll start off.
Okay, great, perfect.
Never have I ever broken a bone. I have broken my arm before.
So if you count teeth, I've broken a bone. But I'm assuming the letter of the question is asking about like arm, leg, shoulder kind of thing, right?
I guess breaking a tooth would be technically correct and stuff like that. So I guess I would broken 2 bones.
I've chipped a tooth before, so
I've cracked both of my molars, and they were one of the most goddamn painful.
I never broke a bone, but I got close one time. I was with my uncle at a place called Gargoyle Ridge.
Oh, that's always fun. Did you?
We were hiking at a place called Gargoyle Ridge in California, and we were like climbing up a mountain. And like, by the way, so I have to preface by saying, this was me as a teenager, like 14, like 17 years old kind of thing, like 17, 18 years old. I was even more so, more so than I am right now. I was super out of shape and like a little pudgy bastard. Like, and also like I had like almost no hand-eye coordination. So, we were climbing down this mountain and I slipped on a rock. And I fell like right on my tailbone. Like I fell about 10 feet onto like solid granite.
I've bruised my tailbone before. That is one of the most goddamn painful things I've ever experienced in my entire life. I couldn't sit or lay down properly for like 2 months.
I fell on the entire. I crashed the entire force of my tailbone on my body from like a 10-foot fall, and I didn't break anything. I didn't have to go to the hospital. But I was sore as hell after that. Like, holy crap.
Have I ever explained how I broke my arm on the show before?
Not on the show.
I've told you this. Not on the show. I've told you before.
Yeah.
So, to be fair, I totally deserved this. But I also didn't. And I'll explain why. So, we were screwing around in a Jolly Jumper. This guy who I was bouncing with, I can't remember his name. He landed on my arm, and I felt a crunch on my arm, and I felt it was completely numb, and then some of the worst goddamn pain I've ever experienced in my entire life. My dad went to pick me up, and it was like, I think I broke my arm.
Oh, yeah, you've told me this story. Yeah.
So my dad, back in the day, he was a drill sergeant, and he's like, walk it off. We'll just wrap it.
Here's a salt. Take a salt tablet.
Take a salt. Yeah, that was pretty much that. Yeah, walk it off. You're fine. Because he thought I was, like, being dramatic about it.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So it was like 2 or 3 days later, I was in school and I didn't have a sling with me. So I had my arm like this the entire time.
Yeah.
And I had to use a saw in shop. So I tried to saw with a broken arm.
Oh,
and
no.
I almost passed out on the floor. And then my mom was just like, you have to take him to the fucking hospital, like right now, or at least get this x-ray.
What do you mean? He's fine.
He's fine. And then they took me to the hospital. They gave me the x-ray. And then the doctor looked at it and was like, yeah, your son's arm is like super broken right now. And
it's actually broken in like 4 places. If you look at the chart.
No. It was just one break on there. But the look on his face, I will never forget this face. Because my dad just went white as a sheet. He's just like, oh my God, I did. And the fucked up thing was they had to like fuck with the arm a little bit to like get the break. They almost had to re-break the arm so that way it would heal properly. So what it would have been like a 6-week process of me healing turned into a 2-month process.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So I had the arm, but yeah, that was it.
That is such a dad move. He's fine. Come on, he's tough.
He's tough. He's a Caldwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my dad was like, he'll be fine. He's just being dramatic. But like, I still give it like, he still feels very sorry about it to this very day. But I still bust his balls about it sometimes. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
My dad used to have this saying growing up. where if I was on my bicycle and I fell, or like if I was outside playing, or like if I like ate the concrete, or if I was like we would sometimes kind of throw like a baseball around, and if like sometimes like I wouldn't put my glove in the right spot, and it would like hit me in the chest, and and I'd be like, oh crap, kind of thing. And if I fell down, he would come up to me and be like, you could either get up and walk it off, or go home and sleep it off.
That is such a... Our dad's just trying to kill us.
Yeah, basically. That's
They're trying to toughen us up.
Yeah.
All right.
And here's the thing, though.
Oh, God.
Here's the thing, though. As much as I kind of don't like that philosophy, like, it did kind of help me a little bit. I do think that there are times when like you
have to be a little tough.
There are times where like I'm in my own head a lot, and I do kind of like, oh hey, yeah, I could just spend all this time thinking about it, or I could actually do something productive, or get off it, get up and walk it off, kind of thing.
Yeah. And well, it's like you shouldn't do that for everything.
I'm not saying I'm not saying for everything that's the right answer, but like, yeah, sometimes we want to make a mountain out of a molehill, and if we kind of just take the time to think about it and be like, hey, you're okay.
Just breathe. Yeah, just breathe. Like, you and I have been in incredible pain before, but it's one of those things where like we try not to make a spectacle of it. Like I'm not saying like, oh, you need to bury it down deep. It's just like it's one of those things where like take a couple deep breaths. You can see, you can walk.
Right.
Okay, I'm good. Okay, I'm good. I'm not blind. I can still see. I can still think kind of properly. Holy fuck, this hurts so goddamn much. But I'm going to try to muscle through it until I can get proper assistance.
I'm going to be like Muscle Man. You know who else? You, damn it, you beat me to... I was going to be like, you know who else? It has to walk it off? My mom.
You actually do a really good Muscle Man.
Thanks, losers. Dude, what the hell, Muscle Man?
Why do you talk about your mom like that?
I know.
My mom taught me to be the man I am today. Muscle Man, you really need to stop doing this and get back to work.
If you all don't get back to work, you're fired.
You're fired.
Anyway, moving on.
All right. Never have I ever tried to cut my own hair. I cut my hair all the time.
One time.
This was back in the day.
One time, I got my hair cut. And then, like, the way that, like, my hair works is I get my hair cut, like, once every, like, 3-4 months kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
And so one time, they messed up cutting my bangs. And, like, so one side of my bangs started to, like, grow really, really quickly while the other side didn't. So, like, I had a cowlick, but it was almost like, one side of the cowlick was really long and it was like covering my face, and the other side of the cowlick was only like half grown.
So you had like the Peter Parker like emo haircut for like a summer.
So what I decided to do is take a pair of children's scissors in the bathroom and try to cut my bangs.
Oh no!
But here's the thing. So like the moment that I came out of the bathroom, my dad looked at me and was like,
"What the fuck
did you do?" and I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, your hair looks like garbage. And so I'm like, no, it doesn't. It's fine. And it's like, all right, you're gonna go get your hair cut tomorrow. And I'm like, fine. And so and then
like you could see, it's one of those things where like you think you know what you're doing, and then you're not.
No. I realize now, I am never going to let anyone but my barber touch my hair ever again. Like I
that's kind of a different situation for me, is because like you can actually see it in like early episodes of the podcast but like I shaved my head back in the day. I shaved my head for years and years and years, and it wasn't until last year that I started growing my hair out again. But yeah, like I wouldn't do that. Like I know some people are like, oh yeah, you can totally give yourself a fade at home, and I was just like, I don't trust myself. There's no fucking way. I would much rather pay a professional to do it, and you look a million times better.
No. And by the way, like for years, I was going to get my hair cut at like a Supercuts, and like they always did like an okay job. But it wasn't until about a year and a half ago that I went to a barbershop for the first time, and
it's night and fucking day.
Like, okay,
It's so much
So
better.
my barber is this guy named Mac, and he is this really soft spoken, man of few words type of guy. And so what he'll do is he'll put you in the chair and be like, "What do you want?" And I'll be like, "Oh, leave some room for my bangs and kind of clean up the back." And he'll be like, "Okay." And he will literally take the better part of an hour to meticulously shave and sculpt the back of my head so that the hair doesn't grow back as fast. And like,
Masterful.
so like he'll take like an actual razor blade. He'll like grease up the razor blade, and like he'll spend he's an artist, dude. Because I watch him in the mirror behind me. He's a freaking.
He's like a surgeon.
He's an artist. He meticulously knows exactly like how much pressure to put on, and like where to apply the tool, and just like, he's so good.
A good barber is somebody you keep around for the rest of your life.
And,
although, like, you've had some bad barber experiences.
Oh,
I've had some bad barber.
Freaking Lord! I had a really bad experience once.
Oh man, at Aces. Well, I think it was
Aces. Yeah,
it was Aces. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll tell this story real quick. So I needed a haircut, and I was at the age where I was going by myself to go get a haircut, and I had a date with my then girlfriend to go to the fair the next day. And so my hair was long, and I go into this bar, like, and so I was like, oh, I'll go to this new place called Ace's Barbershop. That'll be cool. And I walk in the door, and there's this, like, the guy at the chair is this, like, very intense dude. He's this big, like, jacked guy. And he's like, "How can I help you? Welcome to Ace's Barbershop." And like, this guy is like a mountain of a man, and he is like oozing charisma and tough guy bravado. "What can I get you?" "I need a haircut." And so I'm like,
"What you want, white boy?"
I was looking up. I'm like, I need a haircut, sir. He's like, "You want a haircut? Okay." And I'm like, and he's like, "Any specific instructions?" And I said, "Yeah, just like a few inches, and and clean up the back." And he's like, "Okay." And so he proceeds to put me in a chair, take out the clippers without a guard, and just like, and I'm so nervous. Like, I want to tell him, like, "Hey, can you not? Are you?" And like, in my head, I'm like, "Are you shaving me bare?"
Yeah.
Because he's got the
Well, it's like what in barber speak. When you say a few inches, they mean like quite a lot more.
So long story short, like I went
2 inches.
I went from looking like a member of the Beatles.
You went from Clark Kent to Lex Luthor.
I did. I got scalped.
You got fucking scalped.
And so like I get out of the chair and like I look like Sid. I looked like Sid from Toy Story.
You did.
I look like Sid, and he's like, "So, bro, did I do a good job?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Did I do it? Did...
I'm like, I'm speechless. I'm just like.
Well, it's like I remember because I was growing my hair out at the same time too, and like you got fucking scalped because I remember you came into my old house. It's like, listen, I'm gonna look a little different.
I know. Over the phone, I'm like, "Yeah, man. Don't be surprised when you see me."
And I was like, "What the fuck do you mean?" And then I opened my door, and it's like, "Oh my god!"
I had to wear a beanie for like at least 3 months because my hair was that short. And so, but by the way, so the next day I went on my date, and the fair. And by the way, so like where we live during the summertime, it's like hot. So it was like 85 degrees out, and I've got a beanie on, and my girlfriend and my girlfriend at the time is like, "Aren't you hot in that?" No, I'm good.
No, I'm fine.
And so we're on. I distinctly remember this. So like, I guess minor TMI kind of thing, but like, my ex-girlfriend used to do this thing where she would like run her hands through my hair, And like I don't know why, she just liked to do it. Like
No, a lot of girls do that.
She was just like, I want to like run my hands through your hair, and I'm like, okay. So we're on the Ferris wheel, and like I said, it's hot, and so like I'm sweating, so I'm like wiping my brow, and my girlfriend's like, take this thing off, and then she sees, kind of thing.
Bald, my eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
So she was like, take this thing off, man, and she's like, what happened to your head?
What happened to your luscious hair?
And I'm like, oh, it's not what you think, I swear. And yeah.
Did you join the Aryan Brotherhood?
Yeah, basically.
Like he literally looks like he just like. I'm not talking like it's like maybe like a quarter of an inch short here, folks. I'm talking like American History X.
I kind of was American History X. I was kind of on that level.
Oh my god, it was just like it was like it, but it still had like some shading. Yeah. It literally looks like they did you dirty.
My family was really excited because my cousin at the time, he had like a buzz cut. And both of my parents thought that like, wow, like they liked his buzz cut. And so they're like, Patrick, you should get a buzz cut. Like, I think that's the way to go. And I'm like, buzz cut? Like, what are you talking about? So when I came back from the barber, they were both like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You know what? I think you would actually look good with a fade.
No, I like having hair. I enjoy having hair.
No. You leave the hair on top, but then you just kind of buzz the sides a little bit. That's the haircut I do. That's the haircut I got. That's the one I'm gonna go with next time. Ugh. Oh, my hair is looking a little ratty right now.
All right, a few more.
A few more? Okay.
All right. Never have I ever completely forgotten my lines in a play. The only time I've ever been in a play was for drama class in high school. And we got to make our own skits, so there was no lines to... Well, okay, there was lines to memorize, but, like, I didn't forget them because I wrote them.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever been in a play. I don't think so, no. If it does, it escapes me.
Okay.
But, okay.
Never have I ever shot a gun. I have shot a gun.
Yeah, I made you shoot a gun.
Yeah, we went to Shooter's Paradise. And
Shooter's Paradise, Oxnard, California.
I'm glad I did it the one time just to do it. I don't think I would ever do it again.
Really? Oh, well, that kind of kills my plans for next week.
Oh.
No, yeah, that was the last time I ever shot a gun was with you guys.
Yeah. I'm very like I'm not. When I was growing up, especially, I was like very anti-gun violence. Nowadays, I kind of have a more like what I consider leveled perspective on the issue. Although I still kind of fall into like the hey, you don't really.
Some people don't need as much firepower as they need.
I'm in the camp of like, hey, do you need that AK-47? That's kind of where I'm at. Like, hey.
Yeah.
Hey,
well,
random.
It's like I will say this as a person who likes guns and shoots guns.
Yeah.
Not everybody should get those guns, and no civilian needs a fully automatic rifle.
Like
semi-auto, hunting rifle, pistol, sure.
I think we talked about this kind of issue before, but like I'm okay with certain people having heavy artillery in specific situations. So like for example,
I know there's a lot of places in like
in the Midwest, there's people who are like cattle ranchers, right? Mm-hmm. And so you literally, in order to either not have your cattle be stolen by wolves or by like cattle rustlers, you literally like need a like AK-47 or like or like a pump action shotgun. But like
there's a huge in the South.
Yeah,
there's a huge problems of like wild hogs, and and it's not something that you can like put down with like a
pop cap gun is not going to take out a wild boar.
Well, it's like those wild boars, like the ammo that they need, like the bullets are about the size of my fucking thumb. Without the cartridge, like they're fucking huge.
But like if you live in like a big metropolitan city, like if you live in Chicago, New York, Seattle, Sacramento, like no offense, but like what the fuck do you need with an assault weapon? Like, no, really. Like, what do you need with like what do you need an assault
No,
weapon for? And I
Yeah, like
and
a
I know that
rifle.
I'm not yelling. I'm not talking specifically to you, but like I'm talking to like
Oh, I know.
to people
Well,
in general.
I don't think.
I'm
Well,
like,
I don't. It's fine if you have a rifle. You don't need a fully automatic rifle.
Right.
It is pointless. It is pointless. It's a waste of fucking money, and you're gonna hurt. And here's the dirty little secret: a lot of people that have those guns don't know how to shoot them properly.
yeah, of course they don't. For a lot of these people, it's just like, oh, like it's the equivalent of like, oh, you say I can't have this? Well, fuck you. I'm gonna buy 10 of them.
It's you can't tell me what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's not the line, dude. All right.
Moving on.
Last one.
Yeah, last one.
Never have I ever had a surprise party thrown for me. No, never. That's always been one of my goals, is to throw one of you guys a surprise party.
There was okay. Okay.
I've helped thrown a surprise party, but I've never.
I read this list of questions 2 weeks ago when we first started going off of them.
Okay.
And this one in particular made me really sad because okay.
Aww.
So I don't know why I got this in my head, but one time as like I think I was like 12. Nobody had told me that nobody had given me a hint that I was going to get a surprise party, and nobody said anything. The only thing my dad said was like, "Oh yeah, we'll do something for your birthday, I guess." But like for some reason, I had it in my head that my friends and family were going to throw me a surprise party.
Aww.
And I don't know where this idea came from, but like in my head, I was convinced that like somehow, like I had a gut feeling that like they're gonna throw me a surprise party. And so my birthday coincides with this local festival in the county called the Greek Festival. And so so on my birthday, we went to the Greek Festival, and they if you're a kid, they have this thing called the mile run, where like it's more of a ceremonial kind of thing, but like, yeah, all the kids get together and they do like a triathlon type of thing. And so they go from like one end of the festival grounds to the other. And then at the end, everybody gets like a medal, and it's this like, you did it. It's this whole like accomplishment kind of thing for little kids. And you can do it up until I think you're like 18 or 19. And then after that, it's kind of in bad taste to do it.
Yeah.
But like, so I had done my mile run, and I'm like, I did so good on the mile run. I got my medal, like, and so I was convinced that like, once my parents were taking me home, I was convinced that like all of my friends and family were like at the house, and that once I opened the door, they would be like, surprise. And then when I opened the door and nothing happened, there was this little part of me that just like,
just died a little.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
You see right there, that's the exact second where his heart just broke.
Yes. I lost joy in everything that day.
Oh, that's when he truly lost his innocence. How old were you?
12.
Oh.
I don't know, but like I had this like gut feeling that like this is it. This is gonna be the year they throw me. But
this is the year. This is the year we're gonna get the surprise
party.
But
like it's weird because like my parents are the kind of people who hate surprise parties. So they would not be the type of people that are like, let's throw a surprise party. But like I don't know.
Oh, dude, I'm so sorry.
I had this gut feeling that it was gonna happen, and then it just didn't.
Yeah, I've helped thrown like 2 surprise parties in my life.
My friend,
it's kind of a pain in the ass, but it's worth it.
One of my friend's 16th birthday parties was like, so his parents were like kind of wealthy. Just to give you a premise for this story.
Mm-hmm.
So one year for my friend's 16th birthday, it was during the summer, and my friend's mom literally called like his 4 closest friends, and I was one of them. And she called me and said like, hey Patrick, I'm throwing Ben a surprise party for his 16th birthday. And I'm like, that's cool. What time should I show up? How can I help? And she's like, oh no, we're not having it at the house. I'm taking you and three of my other friends who I won't name. We're taking you all 5 of you boys to Disneyland, and we're gonna stay there for like 4 days. I bought you all passes, and we're gonna go to Disneyland, and we're gonna go to like, we're gonna have dinner, we're gonna have fancy food every night, and you're invited. And so there was this part of me that was like, my parents never took me and my 5 friends to Disneyland. for my 16th birthday.
Yeah. Hey, at least you got to go.
I did
That's
get to
a pretty
go.
sick deal.
I did
That's
get
a pretty
to go.
sick fucking deal, of all things considered. That's much a gift for you as it is for him.
That was the last time I went to Disneyland. The last time I was at Disneyland, I was 16.
I can't remember the last time I went to Disneyland. It's been over 10 years, that's for...
Anyway, shall we call it a show?
I think we should call it a show.
I'm stretching.
Folks, we had a good time tonight.
We did.
But before that, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit that bell. Make sure to comment within the first
Hit the
hour.
like button. Why not?
Put some on your head.
Why not? Just do it.
Just do it. Anyway, where can they find you?
As always, you can find me on Twitter. You can either type in the Obsidian Man or Dark Knight Cecil. Either one will find you. Will be able to find me that way. YouTube.com/theweeklychat is where you can find, if you didn't get to catch this broadcast live on Twitch.
You can find us on YouTube every Friday.
Every single Friday at 9:30 Pacific Standard Time.
Ooh,
Unless
woohoo.
it gets held up by YouTube for copyright again.
I think we'll be fine this time around.
They literally
you can
like
find me.
watch Nintendo be like, "You're using Squirtle on your shirt. That's copyright infringement."
Oh God! Intelligent Systems is just looking at your back wall. It's just like
Fire Emblem.
Copyright.
That's right.
But yeah, you can also find me on Twitter at UnluckyMagician76. You can also find me on Twitch at UnluckyMagician76. Well, folks,
What about
what
about the TikTok?
I'll tell you later. I don't know about I guess I'll
Really?
pick the TikTok. Yeah, you can come find me at UnluckyMagician76. I've taken a huge break from actually uploading anything.
Okay.
I still have some stuff to post.
Got it.
I'm kind of debating whether just retiring from TikTok.
I'm officially retired.
I'm going to be officially. I'm debating on it. We'll see. I'll probably post some more shit if I just need some creative inspiration.
You gotta get those juices. You gotta get them.
I gotta get those juices.
Some 𝐏𝐥𝐞𝐬𝐿 flowing.
𝐏𝐥𝐞𝐞𝐬𝐿 flowing through me. But folks, we had a good time tonight.
Yes.
We discussed Space Jam and how it may or may not be the second coming of memes. It may be another Ready Player One.
I hope
we'll
it's not.
see. We bitched about Warner Brothers.
We talked
and
about
how their
JoJo.
copyrights. And we talked about JoJo and Jolene.
We talked about some more Never Have I Ever type questions. We'll be able to, and by the way, we still have plenty more of those. So I think that's going to be the way that we top off the next couple shows.
I think
There's
an
entire list of these. So there's plenty more. So we did some Never Have I Ever questions. We talked about stuff we were watching. Sorry if this was kind of like a blasé. This was like a less news centric episode.
It's kind of a slow episode, but
sorry
I had
about
fun regardless.
Sorry about the fact that I couldn't show the trailers and we couldn't do trailer reactions. Blame Warner Brothers, not me.
A ding, a ding, a ding, ding, ding.
Good
Good
night.
night, everybody.